Well, it's a split-second decision. Oh, what a save!
Tonight on Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. Justin Pogge has been the story of the 2005-06 season. Leading the league in nearly every statistical category, the 19-year-old has backstopped the Hitmen into first place in the dub, not to mention Team Canada to its second straight gold medal at the World Juniors. Tonight he looks to continue his stellar play versus Portland. Stick around as the Hitmen and Hawks next. Good evening and welcome to Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. I am your host, Dan Elliott. I would also like to welcome all those watching in the Portland area on Comcast. Our game tonight features the lone meeting of the season between the Calgary Hitmen and Portland Winterhawks. Backstopped by MVP favorite Justin Pogge, the Hitmen are the top team in the dub and need only a single point to clinch a berth in the postseason. On the other hand, the Hawks currently sit in third in the U.S. division, but have struggled in the month of January, losing 9 of 13, including their last 5. For more on tonight's matchup, we head out to the Pengrove Saddle Dome, where Mark Stiles and Mike Muller are standing by. Gentlemen.
All right, Dan, thanks very much, and welcome to the Pengrove Saddle Dome. Our color analyst, former NHLer Mike Muller. Mike, you saw this Portland team last night. Close game again, but they lose one more time on the road.
You know, it's really been a struggle for them on this road trip. Anytime they come across the Rockies here, they want to have success to keep ahead in their division, but they struggled last night, giving up a late goal to lose the hockey game. It's kind of been the way it's been on the road trip for them. They've lost all 5 games, and tonight's no easy task coming in here to play the Calgary Hitmen.
Hawks lose last night in Red Deer, and you brought it up. I mean, no easy task. The Hitmen have been great at home this year.
They certainly have. They play so well in this building. They get leads. They protect leads. And I think with Justin Pogge and net, it really gives them that extra advantage in the back end. If they make mistakes, it doesn't net in the back of the net.
Hitmen and Hawks, we're getting closer to the opening face-off, but let's go downstairs quickly, and here's Ryan Leslie.
Yeah, joining me now, Hitmen assistant coach Dave Lowry. And Dave, first of all, congratulations on clinching a playoff berth so early in the season. But I'm wondering, what now do you guys try to instill as you focus the rest of the way? What's the goal here?
I think the biggest thing is for our hockey club is to continue to win hockey games. We realize that we have had success early, and we've gotten the results that we're looking for. But we realize that we're also in a race for first place, and that is something that will keep our hockey club motivated.
How about tonight now, as you take on the Portland Winterhawks, a team you haven't seen and you only face once a year? How do you prepare for this game?
Well, this is a very important game for us. It's the last game here before we head out on the road for a couple, and you always want to win the last game before you go on a road trip. And we don't see them very much, but we've been able to watch some video, and we'll have our kids prepared to play at start.
Well, we appreciate this. Thanks and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And let's go back to WHL Central.
Thank you, guys. Should be a good one. We will have the drop of the puck right after this quick break. You are watching Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Boston Pizza Sports Bar, how great is this? You got great food, great drinks, all your buddies. How about it, guys? Girls. It's open till like really late. You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
St. Eugene Mission Resort is the perfect getaway near Cranbrook, BC, in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. The resort is a 4.5-star hotel with world-class dining. While staying at the St. Eugene Mission, try your luck at the Casino of the Rockies and complete your getaway with a round on their 18-hole championship golf course.
Petra, Lost City of Stone, has arrived in Calgary. Now you can get there with the Petra Lost Weekends package. Enjoy 2 nights hotel, appetizer at Kaylee's Irish Pub, Calgary Tower entry, and admission to the Glenbow exhibition. For details, call the Calgary Marriott or the Hyatt Regency.
As a pharmacist, I recommend to my family and friends glucosamine chondroitin dietary supplement from Weber Naturals. Weber Naturals provides high-quality products and are the #1 choice of Canadians. Weber Naturals, glucosamine chondroitin. Ask your pharmacist about Weber Naturals and your health.
You've never seen anything like it. Then you see nothing else. The Infinity FX, only at Hyatt Infinity in the Calgary Auto Mall.
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome from the Pengrowth Saddle Dome in Calgary. The Western Hockey League presents tonight the Hitmen at home against the Portland Winterhawks, and it is the only time this season that these two clubs meet, one from the U.S. Division and one from the Central. Justin Pogge has pretty much rewritten the record book for Hitmen goaltenders this season. A fabulous year for the Calgary Hitmen in goal. Of course, over the Christmas holidays, the World Junior winning goaltender. At the other end of the ice in the Saddle Dome tonight, it's kind of a hometown appearance for Dustin Butler. He's from High River, just outside of Calgary, and it will be his 33rd game this season for the High River native. He will start for the Portland Winterhawks on the road. The referee that will be in charge of this one tonight between the Winterhawks and the Calgary Hitmen drops the puck and gets us underway, and that is Andy Thiessen. Mike Moeller, Mark Stiles with the call from the Saddle Dome in our studio in Vancouver. Dan Elliott at WHL Central, and we're underway between the Hitmen Hawks. The only meeting of the season between these two clubs. Last year they played once. It was in Portland, Oregon, and the Hawks won that game 3-1 over the Hitmen. And we'd like to say hello to all of our viewers tonight in Portland on Comcast, as this game is being picked up in the Portland area. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw.
Boston Pizza WHL Hockey on Shaw is brought to you by Boston Pizza.
You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
Just underway in the Saddle Dome, Hawks and Hitmen scoreless. Mike Moeller, our color analyst. You saw this Portland team, as we mentioned in the pregame, when they played the Red Deer Rebels last night in the Central.
Yeah, they played very well last night. Unfortunately, gave up a late goal, and that cost them the game. But they're going to skate, and they're going to really forecheck and try to get Calgary on their heels.
Winterhawks making changes as they dump it in, and the 17-year-old Carl Alsner from the Lower Mainland, second year with the Hitmen, sends it into the corner. Some banging and crashing along the boards and picked up by Bailey. Can't clear. Here's a chance for Danzero, handled by Butler, as Keegan Danzero had a chance in close just over a minute into the first period. Jeff Schultz sends it back in. Sauer picking it up behind Butler. Patient in behind the Winterhawk goal. Sauer moves it ahead on the left side. He was looking for Wolger, but it misses it. It's going to come all the way back inside the Portland zone.
Yeah, good job. Good job by the Calgary Hitmen on the forecheck here, having the puck turn over. We see Danzero with a real good chance. Butler very square to the shooter, took away the angle, and that's why he made the save.
Big night for him. Mike gets to play essentially in his hometown, High River, just 30 minutes outside of Calgary. It's the only time that Dustin Butler's here all season.
Yeah, I got to be excited. There's a lot of players with Portland. I think there's 9 players from Alberta, and I know family and friends are going to be in attendance here watching tonight's game, as they have the whole road trip.
It has been a poor road trip for the Winterhawks. It's a road trip that they want to forget about. They've lost 5 straight games on this trip, but what's interesting is they've been in every game.
Well, they certainly have. I mean, they've only scored a maximum 2 goals a game on offense, but defensively, they really haven't given up a whole bunch. Although overall this year, Mark, they've given up the 2nd most goals in the league.
The trip started in Kootenay. The Hawks lost there. Then they lost in Lethbridge, lost in overtime in Swift Current, lost in Medicine Hat, lost in Red Deer, and they wrap up the trip against the first place Hitmen tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Calgary Hitmen on this road trip coming out of the Western Hockey League Central Division. Good shot there from the point, and again, Butler, I love the way he's out the top of the crease area, taking away that angle. No rebound for the Calgary Hitmen forwards to pick up.
Chris Dinas getting that shot away. He's also from High River. I don't know if those guys knew each other growing up in minor hockey or not.
Well, it really depends on if they were there all their lives or not. I'm sure they would if they happened to play a little bit of dynamite hockey.
Jeff Schultz, one of the biggest guys in the Western Hockey League at 6'7", goes back for the Calgary Hitmen. Mike Williamson, the head coach of the Winterhawks, in his 6th season. And we caught up with the coach of the Winterhawks earlier today talking about this road trip.
Well, it has been a rough trip. We've actually played some pretty good hockey during the time out here, but we haven't done it for 60 minutes and certainly haven't been great at the start of games. We seem to be clawing our way back into every game, and so tonight our whole focus is going to be to have a good start.
Oh, Butler with a really solid save there. The Portland Winterhawks kind of standing around here, being a little bit of spectating. You got to close on those Calgary Hitmen forwards and take away that space so they don't get the good chances. Look at Brody DuPont with a nice shot.
While Dustin Butler and the Winterhawks were in Red Deer last night, the Hitmen were at home against the Brandon Wheat Kings. A very exciting game that the Hitmen eventually won in a shootout.
Yeah, and Dustin Pogge doing a really good job in the back end, keeping them in. They had a 2-goal lead, gave up the lead, but were able to fight back and win it in the shootout.
This will come back to the right side of Butler. We are scoreless, just under 3 minutes into the first period of play. Winterhawks wrapping up a long road trip. And Braden Norgang is hoping that his team can get something on this trip before it's over.
Yeah, him and Sevier and McLaren played very well last night. They contributed on that 2nd goal that was scored by Portland, which tied the game at 2 in Red Deer.
You told me earlier that Yannick Hansen was one of the better Winterhawks last night.
Really good speed, good hands, and a really nifty player. You got to make sure you know where he is at all times on the ice.
Picked up by the Hawks. Pass intended for Seaver. One of 2 16-year-olds in the Winterhawks this season. He's from Red Deer. Justin Pogge comes out, leaves it in behind the Hitman goal. Played there by Lineker. He's looking for reach, but that doesn't connect. Lots of work in front of the Hitman bench. Picked up, and Letts moves it for Sawney. Sawney, one of 3 16-year-olds for the Hitmen, losing it, and it comes back inside the Hitman zone. Carl Alsner back along the boards, trying to move it by Sauer and out. Picked up and moved back to the Hitman line by Collins. Collins getting it again. Danzero after him. Collins has a little bit of time now at the 4-minute mark. Plays it over to Sauer, and Sauer will move it back to Collins. Collins tried to play it ahead, but that's going to come all the way back on icing against the Winterhawks.
Yeah, the Portland Winterhawks were able to get the puck out of the zone there. They still don't have a shot on net as the Calgary Hitmen are out shooting them 4-0. And Carl Osner on the back end there. We saw him earlier on with a good shot from the point. They got all the way through. Left-hand shot, playing the right point position. Gives him a better angle to get to the middle of the ice and get that shot away.
Osner to Yo. Yo's brother plays for the Brandon Wheat Kings. They played against each other last night. Keegan Danzero dumps it behind the net. LeBlanc trying to throw it out front for Sawney. Picked off, not cleared at the point. Yo over quickly to Osner. His one-timer wide. LeBlanc can't pick it up. On the back end, along the boards. Kept in by Yo. This time, trying once again to get it out was Friesen, but he was unable to clear. Sauer can't clear either, and a strong forecheck by Sawney. That Sawney still has it. Great skill, this 16-year-old. Throws it out front. LeBlanc couldn't pick it up, and the play goes in the corner where Golan and LeBlanc will battle. They continue along the boards as we get a stoppage in play with 15:01 to go in a scoreless first period, and these two teams really, Mike, have been headed in total different directions this season.
You can see it there on the screen. The Portland Winterhawks only one win in the last 10 games in this streak here. They've got 4 losses and an overtime loss. And the Calgary Hitmen with 37 wins this year, 9-1 the last 10 and 3 in a row. And that's the way the season has gone for the Calgary Hitmen.
Winterhawks have lost 5 in a row overall. Pettersson with the chance but couldn't get the shot away, and they've lost 7 straight on the road, and the first penalty of the game coming up. Tripping the call from Andy Thiesel.
Yeah, the Portland Winterhawks, that's about the 3rd time already this game they've turned that puck over in their defensive zone, and when you do that, it's going to cause problems.
We're going to have a look at that penalty that will give the Calgary Hitmen a power play chance. There it is.
Pettersson just going over the Portland defenseman, and he gained his balance, but by that time Portland had touched the puck.
Hitmen power play at 17.5% of the season, right in the middle of the pack in the WHL. For the Winterhawks, their penalty kill has not been strong. It's 19th overall in the WHL in a 20-team league. Merkley can't keep it in. It's cleared. Knocked out by Jonathan Bubnick and fired right back in by Jeff Schultz. Bubnick can't pick it up in the corner, fighting with Merkley. Merkley's 2nd game back. Played his first one last night against the Brandon Wheat Kings. Ryan White, who is from Brandon, sends it back to Carson. His shot right on. And Mike, you've been talking about how Dustin Butler has been coming out and doing just that, challenging.
Yeah, right at the top of the crease area. He's got to rely on his defenseman to block out the Calgary Hitmen forward so he can see the puck and make sure if there's any rebounds to clear it away. This Portland Winterhawk penalty kill, we talked about it, 68 goals against this year. That's the most in the league they've given up, so the PK really has struggled.
Lineker at the point for Danzero. Danzero can't control it. It's cleared by Gordachuk, who is celebrating his 20th birthday today, and he dumps it down. Alzner picks it up. 2nd year in the Western Hockey League. He's from the Lower Mainland. Carl Alzner has it again at the point. Danzero will pick it up. Gordachuk after him. This time it's picked up by McLaren, and he'll send it down. Justin Pogge gets it back in front of his goal. Leaves it for Alzner. 45 seconds to go on the power play. And it's sent in by Brett Sawney, but that's offside at the Winterhawks line.
Calgary Hitmen, who have a really good power play, especially when they get in the zone and get set up, have a little bit of trouble here getting the puck from their own zone all the way down the ice and getting in the zone.
Derek LeBlanc was acquired for Dustin Kahn at the trading deadline. A 1-for-1 deal that brought LeBlanc to the Calgary Hitmen for defenseman Dustin Kahn. A trade that both teams, the early reviews, are happy with the players that they've received. On the power play, Brett Carson, the captain and the 20-year-old, sends it over to Schultz. Schultz trying to find Merkley. Merkley digging along the boards, can't control. It's knocked away. 15 seconds to go on the Hitmen power play. Wolger in the box for tripping. One more chance with the extra attacker, and the 4-year man, Jeff Schultz, moves it across for Merkley. Merkley cuts to the middle, can't get the shot away. No penalty on the play as Merkley went tumbling down, and we're back at even strength. Wolger's out of the penalty box. No score. Hitmen at home against the Winterhawks. Dupont to Schultz. Schultz will shoot. That goes off a stick over the glass and out of play.
Well, the Calgary Hitmen aren't going to be able to get a goal in the first power play of the night. But what a great play by Riley Merkley coming down the ice, the old outside, inside, and he got Thunderchild turning the wrong way. And really, Thunderchild with a pretty kind of desperation effort at the end swung his stick around and was able to get Merkley off balance. Unfortunately, the Calgary Hitmen wasn't able to get a shot on net, but what a great move.
Kind of looked like a young Mike Moeller, didn't he, when he played in Lethbridge?
Geez, that's so long ago. No one remembers that.
I don't know about no one. Hawks bring it back in. Our color analyst tonight, Mike Moeller, played in the National Hockey League with the Edmonton Oilers, Buffalo Sabres, and in the Western Hockey League as well before going on to the NHL. A pleasure to have Mike in the broadcast booth with us. Butler will just leave it in behind his goal. Hawks set up. Michael Funk, a draft choice of the Buffalo Sabres, moves it back to the Hitmen line. Reach will bring it in. Reach trying to throw it in the middle, And there's another penalty coming up against the Hawks as Funk touches it, and the Hitmen will get their second power play chance here in the opening period.
Calgary Hitmen doing a good job here of moving the puck up the ice very quickly. Transition from defense to offense, and by doing so, they catch the Portland Winterhawks trying to back check and catch up, and no doubt a penalty there. Hooking from behind, and especially when you haul the player down, it makes it easy for the referee to make the call.
Brett Carson on the power play for Frederick Pettersson. Pettersson has been a fan favorite for the Hitmen here in the Saddle Dome this season. He's a draft choice of the Edmonton Oilers. He's from Sweden. He's not the biggest guy in the Western Hockey League, but he's definitely one of the more skilled guys. And Pettersson has loved his first season in the Western Hockey League here in Calgary. Carson plays it to Schultz. Certainly not Schultz's first season in the league. It's his fourth to DuPont. DuPont on the power play, brings it back to the Hawks line. Still has it, shoots. And it goes off a Thunder's Child and wide of the net. Schultz will keep it in. No, he won't. He's forced to back up. Plays it across to Pettersson. Pettersson losing it to Bubnik. And Schultz will go back after it on the power play. A minute and 10 remaining on the Hitman power play. Danzero moves it along the boards, tied up by Thunderchild. Wolger will get it, and he's able to clear. Carson reaches for it. He has to hurry, chased by Hansen. Carson brings it back in on the power play. Just under 11 minutes to go in the first period. No score on our game tonight on Shaw TV. The first of 6 regional games that we have from the Central Division this year on Shaw. Carson throws it on goal. Puck's loose, not for long. Butler will drop the trapper on it. 39 seconds to go on the power play.
I tell you what, Butler's done a really good job tonight of not only tracking the puck when the shot's coming at him, but making sure there's no rebounds. As we see Calgary Hitmen with 2 guys in front of the net and only 1 Portland Winterhawk. And if there's any rebound at all, the chances of Calgary getting that are pretty good.
Shots on goal, 6-0 for the Hitmen as we approach the midway mark of the first period, but no score in this game.
30 seconds to go in this power play as Calgary tries to regroup in their own zone.
Bringing it back, Craig Lineker. Lineker for the 16-year-old Sawney. Sawney throws it across for Alsner. For Danzero, that doesn't work. Picked up, dumped down as the Hawks are able to clear. It is fired away by Michael Sauer, who's a draft choice of the New York Rangers. Hogan, who loves to play the puck, dumps it down himself, and it will be icing with 5 seconds remaining on the Winterhawk penalty.
Portland Winterhawks have kind of dodged the bullet here. Anytime you're on the road and you take some penalties early on in the game, it can really affect how you're going to play. And so far, so good on the penalty kill.
Derek LeBlanc, the former Brandon Wheat King, has been with the Calgary Hitmen for about 3 weeks now, and Mikey had 2 game-winning goals already in this building.
Yeah, he's got 14 goals this year, and that's third in the league, third for the Calgary Hitmen. So he's been a great addition coming over from Brandon.
I know it's a cliche, but boy, the Hitmen this year, they do get it by committee, don't they?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Lineker throws it wide of the net. Sawney after it, picks it up. Brett Sawney back to Alsner. Alsner fakes. Lineker looking on the back door. Here's a chance for Danzero, knocked away by Butler. Shots on goal are now 6-7-1 for the Hitmen. Funk will dump it in. Pogge comes out and plays it. Leaves it in behind his goal. Both teams making changes. Carl Alsner in behind his net. He's a native of the Lower Mainland. Plays it ahead for the overage player, Chris Dinas. Dinas began with the Hitmen, then he went to Lethbridge, to Prince George, and he ends his WHL career here in Calgary. Pettersson couldn't knock it out of the air. Chasing after it is Nargang, and he knocks it back inside the Hitman line where Dylan Yeo will find it, and Yeo moves it quickly for Covington. Covington sends it across. The shot by Kellner. The 17-year-old is blocked. Dinas after it in the corner. Covington loses it, and it's picked up and dumped out by the Hawks as it's cleared by Seaver. Dinas gets it back. Can't get it deep, however. Collins after it. This time Dinas will get it deep. Gordachuk back after it for the Portland Winterhawks. Kept in at the point. Yeo walks in with it. Can he get a shot away? Yes, he will. Looking for Pettersson, but that skips into the corner. Covington trying to keep it in. He's unable to. Yeo reaches for it, knocks it back in over the Hawks line. Just over 8 minutes to go in a scoreless first period. Jeff Schultz along the boards. Bailey picks it up. Bailey along the boards with McMullen. Play to the left side of Justin Poden. Yo. Can't clear. Voracek can't keep it in. And it comes back to Funk. On the backhand. Lifts it back in over the Hitmen line. Jeff Schultz sends it across for the captain, Carson. Takes his time, makes his way to the red line to McMullen. His shot off a stick and in the corner. Picked right back up by the Hitmen as they try to set something up. Reach. Sends it in. Along the boards, taking his man for the Hitmen, Carson McMillan. Puck goes up high and out of play with 7:25 remaining in a scoreless first period from Calgary on Shaw.
Boston Pizza is a great place to bring the entire family. Mind if I join you? Hello? Hello. I'm family share. Is Howie your favorite family member? You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
St. Eugene Mission Resort is the perfect getaway near Cranbrook, BC, in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. The resort is a 4.5-star hotel with world-class dining. While staying at the St. Eugene Mission, try your luck at the Casino of the Rockies and complete your getaway with a round on their 18-hole championship golf course.
Petra, Lost City of Stone, has arrived in Calgary. Now you can get there with the Petra Lost Weekends package. Enjoy 2 nights hotel, appetizer at Kaylee's Irish Pub, Calgary Tower entry, and admission to the Glenbow exhibition. For details, call the Calgary Marriott or the Hyatt Regency.
As a pharmacist, I recommend to my family and friends glucosamine chondroitin dietary supplement from Weber Naturals. Weber Naturals provides high-quality products and are the #1 choice of Canadians. Weber Naturals, glucosamine chondroitin. Ask your pharmacist about Weber Naturals and your health.
The Western Hockey League on Shaw, scoreless in Calgary with 7.5 minutes to go in the first period, and Mike Moeller, Mike Williamson, I expect, took that timeout to get his team fired up. There's no score, but they have been totally dominated by the Hitmen.
The Hitmen have had the puck in their end the whole first period. The only shot they got on the net was a dump in off an icing when the Portland Winterhawks were on the power play. So, you know, Williamson's a motivator. He's a passionate guy. He's going to have to get his guys going because they're in the wrong side here. It looks like the ice is tilted one way.
Well, the Winterhawks are 0 for the Central Division, and to compound that road trip, they started in the BC Division in Cranbrook against Kootenay. They lost that game, have lost 4 straight in the Central since, and it's one of those nights, Mike, is it not, where the Hawks maybe could come up with some excuses and say it's the final game before we go back to Portland. It's been a terrible road trip, but they don't want to be thinking that way. They want to get something on this trip.
They certainly do, and you know, we want to be able to build as you go home, because I tell you what, you come off a long road trip not having won a game. It's not that easy just to flip the switch back at home.
We're going to have a look at the standings in a moment. And the Hawks, when they began this road trip, were towards the top of the U.S. division, but after losing 5 straight, they're in the middle of the pack now when they go back to Portland after this trip. They'll drive through the night immediately after this game tonight. 6:10 to go in a scoreless first period. Both these teams played last night. Hawks lost in Red Deer, Hitmen won in this house against the Brandon Wheat Kings in an overtime shootout. The Western Hockey League does it the same way the NHL does it. 4 skaters aside in overtime. If it's not decided, they'll go to a shootout. Puck beside the Portland goal, digging for it, trying to knock it loose. Sawney. Hansen on the backhand sends it inside the Hitmen line. Dylan Yeo began his Western Hockey League career in Prince George, acquired by the Hitmen at last year's trading deadline just over a year ago. And he takes it back in behind Justin Pogge. Yeo leaves it for Sawney. The rookie picks it up. Looks way up ice and finds Danzero. Danzero for LeBlanc. He brings it in. Tied up along the boards. Bailey gets it, and a penalty on the play with 5:19 to go in the first period. A holding penalty's the call, but look at the Hitmen battling with the Medicine Hat Tigers for first place, not only in that division, but overall in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, the Calgary Hitmen 37 wins. That's a great year, let alone half the season. And you see Portland Winterhawks right there in the middle at 47 points. Spokane Chiefs, the last team in that division, are only 6 points out of Portland.
There's the penalty on the play. Holding was the call.
Good speed by LeBlanc down the wing. He just forced Gordachuk to make that holding and took the penalty.
Gordachuk, the third consecutive minor penalty for the Wheat Kings. Gordachuk is with his third team in the WHL. He played in Kamloops, played in Vancouver, and now with the Winterhawks. Merkley shoots. That's handled by Butler, and the rebound, it just goes off the side of the cage. Back to Carson. Carson on the power play, trying to break a scoreless tie. He's going to fire. It goes wide. Merkley chasing after it, leaving it for White. Back to the point. Schultz in the back door for Merkley, trying to knock it home, unable to, but he had a great chance on Butler. Riley Merkley, second game back after missing 13 straight with an injury. And on the power play for the Hitmen with DuPont and White up front. Carson and Schultz in the back end. White to the point. Carson can't keep it in, and the Hawks are going to make changes. Hoagie way out of the goal. Plays it back to Ryan White. White played in the top prospects game a few weeks back. Sends it in. Michael Sauer, the Ranger draft choice, is able to clear. Picked up in the neutral ice area by Danzero, but we have a stoppage in play with 4:22 left in the opening period as Ryan White goes back to the Hitmen bench.
Calgary Hitmen, a lot better control on this power play. Able to move the puck around and get some good chances. It looked like the one chance might have actually gone off the post. A little bit of a rebound chance here and a good backhand. And Butler doing what he's got to do, which is make that initial save. He's got to rely on his defenseman to help him out a little bit. But Portland Winterhawks with 3 penalty kills in the first period so far, and the best penalty killer has been Dustin Butler. There's Merkley with a real good chance. Actually, Butler didn't make the save there. Merkley just missed the net on kind of a one-time shot that he got from the point on a quick pass. Decent over talking to Williamson there, letting him know what's going on with the clock. 53 seconds to go on that penalty to the Portland Winterhawks. We've got 4:11 to go in the first period, and we're still scoreless.
And the Winterhawks are counting their lucky stars that is still scoreless. They've killed off 3 straight penalties. They have had 1 shot on goal. They're being outshot 7-1. And the only shot on goal they've had, it was a dump in from their own line. But yet this game is still scoreless. Brett Sawney swoops in behind Pogge, loses it in the corner to Bailey. Bailey throws it out front. Pogge with the stick save. Sawney gets it back. Sawney dumps it ahead by LeBlanc. And for the first time in this game, Mike, the Hitmen have been called for icing.
Icing down in their own zone, and Portland doing a good job on the forecheck there. Puck turned over, and Bubnik, who got a goal last night in Red Deer with a quick release. Pogge out top of the crease, making the save. Again, very square. These goaltenders nowadays understand angles and how they're going to try to stop that shot from getting through.
Jonathan Bubnik, who got that shot away. One of the older age players for the Winterhawks this year. His older brother Michael played for the Calgary Hitmen for 4 years. Both Bubnik boys had long tenures in the Western Hockey League.
It seems like there's a Bubnik playing for the last 9 or 10 years in this league.
No kidding. Comes back to LeBlanc, and that's offside. And that's a good point because Michael came through and ended, and then his younger brother Jonathan comes through. So for the last at least 8 or 9 years, there has been a Bubnik.
There's been a Bubnik in the league, and I mean that's a great tribute to that family to have 2 players and brothers to be able to come in the league and play at a high caliber in elite hockey in the Western Hockey League and be successful at it as well.
Stephen Covington's had a long shift in the Western Hockey League as well, 4 years in the WHL. His first cousin Andrew Ladd has left the Hitmen and has jumped right up to the NHL with the Carolina Hurricanes. He has been in the American League and in the NHL and currently on the shelf with an injury after playing with the Hitmen last year. Dumped out and back to the Winterhawks line. Wolger leaving it for Collins. Collins stopped. Covington gets it back. Here's a chance for Pettersson. Fires, kicked away by Butler, who had good positioning on that shot. Alsner dumps it back in. Collins will pick it up with 2:30 to go in the first period. Still no score in the Pengrowth Saddledome.
Now Portland Winterhawks being able to set up a little bit. They've spent 6 minutes in the penalty box, and that's affected how they've been able to get some offense going.
Colton Seaver, a 16-year-old from Red Deer, brings it in, and he didn't look like a 16-year-old in the WHL there, Mike.
Good speed, good hands, and he's able to handle the puck. He finds McLaren, who gets a little bit of a left-handed shot on net. Pogge up high and the blocker save there, but for the Portland Winterhawks, they need everybody contributing. At the end of a road trip, guys are banged up, a little tired.
Gordachuk is celebrating his 20th birthday in the Saddledome tonight.
A little bit of a nice pass here to Pedersen, and he just turns and fires it. But look where Butler is, way out high. Well, I tell you what, you're going to have a good shot right in the corner to be able to get the puck by him when he's that far out.
2 minutes left in the first period, still no score. Mike Moeller and Mark Stiles with the call in the Saddle Dome. Back at WHL Central in Vancouver is Dan Elliott, who we will see at the end of the first period. Frederick Peterson has just had a terrific rookie season. The Swede, drafted in the Canadian Hockey League import draft, comes over. You never know what you're going to get. Well, what Kelly Kissio has got out of this guy is maybe at the end of the year the top scorer, a guy that played in the World Junior team, and a fan favorite.
Wow, he's got quick feet, quick hands, and always seems to be in the right spot to be able to get that puck. And that's a knack, because a lot of guys, to get themselves in this position where the puck can't get to them.
On the backhand, sent in by Hansen, who is from Denmark. Not too many Danish players have come through the Western Hockey League over the years, but Hansen has had a good year with the Portland Winterhawks, and he's a draft choice, actually, of the Vancouver Canucks. Bringing it back, Let's trying to get loose on Collins. Collins rams him into the boards. Picked up in a little bit of room along the boards for McMillan. Collins after it, Let's gets it back, throws it out front, picked off, and here comes Hansen with just over a minute to go in this period. Off the blocker of Pogge. Hawks making changes. The Hitmen are going to do the same, and Carson will bring it back. Brett Carson. Berkeley picks it up. Brought in by White. White throws it out front. DuPont shot handled by Butler. And believe it or not, but the Hitmen last night, when they beat the Brandon Wheat Kings, when Carson and company got it done, have qualified for the postseason already with 20 games to go. Here's what Brett had to say about it.
You know, we're happy to clinch, but I think the big goal is to get home ice. You know, us and Medicine Hat are battling for top spot right now, and you know, it's going to be tough. I don't think we can lose many games going in. They have a great team over there. And, you know, right now that's our main goal, is to get the home ice throughout the playoffs.
It's remarkable, Mike, isn't it? The Hitmen have 22 to go, including this one against Portland, and they know they're in the postseason.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling to have, but not without some hard work along the way to get there. And we heard their assistant coach Lauer talk about how they want to continue winning hockey games. That's their motive. That's what they want to try to do the rest of the season.
And a late penalty in the first period with 26 seconds to go to the Hitmen. So the Winterhawks will get their first power play chance. The Hitmen are 0 for 3 on the power play, and Ryan White will go to the penalty box.
Yeah, Ryan White with just a little interference there, trying to create a little bit of a pick play for his teammate DuPont to get the puck out of the corner, get the quick shot on net. But in hockey, you interfere on somebody who doesn't have the puck, you're usually going to get called. And Portland on the power play.
Brett Sawney wins the draw, back to Alsner with 20 seconds to go in the period. Under Hansen's glove, played by Butler, who will make his 10th save of the period. And the Hawks will try to get one scoring chance on a late power play in the first period. Daly takes it in behind Pogge, moves it back to the line. Sauer, here's the shot, wide, picked up by Danzero, and we're through 20 in the Pengrowth Saddle Dome, and we have no score, Mike Moeller.
No score. Both goalies been able to keep the puck out of the net, although Dustin Butler for the Portland Winterhawks certainly was a lot busier of the two.
Justin Pogge wasn't that busy at all. Only 4 shots on the Hitman goal in the first period. Hitman outshot the Winterhawks 10-4. No rewards, were scoreless through 20. And what a Christmas Justin Pogge had. Signs with Toronto, stars for the World Junior team, and he has let nothing go behind him through 20 tonight, nor has Dustin Butler for the Portland Winterhawks. Scoreless through 20, and it's time to send it back to WHL Central in Vancouver with Dan Elliott.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in the first intermission, we will go back to the Saddle Dome for an interview with Hitmen leading goal scorer Brody DuPont. As well, we take a closer look at Calgary's Swedish sensation Freddie Pedersen and how an October trade has benefited the Winterhawks Blue Line. Plus, Mark and Mike will break down the first period of action for us. And of course, we will check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
funky, versatile hatchback, the Volkswagen Golf. Northland Volkswagen, Canada's largest volume dealer. No one sells for less. Corner of Crowchild Trail at Northland Drive Northwest. Drivers wanted.
Streetside Development Corporation invites you to experience condominiums that defy the ordinary. Red House Condo and Latitude Townhomes are now available in Royal Oak. Visit our website for more information. StreetsideHomes.com. Decidedly different.
Are you looking to get in shape? FitStart has the program to make it happen. Learn how your body gains or loses fat and the psychology behind it. Learn how to read food labels to complete your plan for long-term health. The key elements of a successful, healthy lifestyle are right here. FitStart. Call 272-UFIT.
Revitalize yourself. Perfection specializes in laser hair, vein, and spot removal, laser facial and IPL solutions, microdermabrasion, and facial peels. For complexion perfection, call the professional staff in Martelou.
Now playing on Shaw Pay-Per-View.
You're moving out to the island, transported to the world's last paradise.
I think they're gonna kill you.
Going to the island?
There is no island!
Of course, beautiful downtown Vancouver, where I am right now at WHL Central. Welcome back to Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. And after one period of play, it is a 0-0 game between the Winterhawks and Hitmen. Time now to go back to the Pengrowth Saddledome, where Ryan Leslie is standing by with Calgary forward Brody Dupont.
All right, I'm joined by Brody Dupont. Brody, you outshoot the Winterhawks 10-4, but obviously you're looking for more after one.
Yeah, you know, we'd like to get a goal and jump on them early. They've been having a rough road trip, and we just wanted to maybe help their self-esteem go down and maybe pitch 10 against us. But I think we're playing well, we're cycling low, and we're getting opportunities, so I think the goals will just come.
Close games, yeah, nothing new for you. You guys almost prefer to play in these tight ones, don't you?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, we've won quite a few tight games this year, and I think it's going to be big going on in the playoffs. A lot of the playoffs games are pretty tight, so I think it's a big learning curve right now, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Brody, thanks for this, and best of luck in the second.
All right, thanks a lot.
Brody Dupont.
Thanks, Ryan. Brody Dupont has had a lot of success this year, playing on a line with Freddie Pettersson. Now, unlike many European imports, the Swedish 18-year-old has had little trouble adapting to life in North America. Coming into tonight's game, he is third on the team in scoring, and a big reason for their success this year.
It's been quite a year for the Calgary Hitmen's Swedish left winger, Freddie Pettersson, adjusting to a new country, a new WHL team, and he's even played on Sweden's World Junior team. What's been the biggest adjustment that he's had to make playing in the Western Hockey League?
We play 35 games in the regular season in Sweden, and you guys play 72, so that's a very big difference.
Pettersson, an Edmonton Oiler draft pick who first came to Calgary during the Max Midget tournament, has been having the time of his life since he arrived in Canada. And why not? While no Hitmen player at this point is even in the top 50 in WHL scoring, the team, thanks in part to some of his highlight reel contributions, has been at or near the top of the Central Division. These days, Freddie's on a line with Ryan White and Brody Dupont, the team's top three scorers, united.
Just like a fly out there. I mean, he's all over the place. He's always moving his legs, and you know, he just back and forth, left and right, but he's got tons of skill to go with it, so he could definitely put the puck in net when he has to.
You know, he's not like most Europeans that come in the league. Like, he plays pretty well defensive hockey, and he's got wheels. He moves his feet all night. He's a hard-working player, and he just gets to spots where he can make plays. And
growing up, Freddie idolized fellow countryman Peter Forsberg, but these days, his favorite player is Martin St. Louis, both players that Freddie has fashioned his game after.
Once he gets going, definitely see in his eyes that he loves to play the game, and once his intensity gets up there, he won't even back down from anyone. He'd probably fight if he had to. I mean, he's not that big, but I don't think anyone really scares him.
And with so much youth on this Hitmen team, he's one player the coaching staff rely on. Question is, how good can Freddie be?
Given 1 year of growth in the Western Hockey League, next year, obviously, we're going to expect a lot more offensively out of him, and you know, we're going to expect the consistency, and we're going to expect him to do it every night.
What the future holds for this young man is uncertain, but make no mistake, his goal right now is shared by every other major junior hockey player in this country, the Memorial Cup.
I know some players like in London Knights, Dan Sabret and Mike, and Robbie Schremp, and they told me it was so fun. And also in Kelowna, actually, Troy Bodie. And I mean, if you win the Mem Cup, it's the biggest thing you can do here in the junior.
While Freddie's game garners all kinds of attention from opponents, it's his off-ice demeanor that endears him to so many. I had a chance to speak to Freddie before the season began, and he pointed out his goals for this season were number 1, help this club win hockey games, number 2, have a lot of fun, and number 3, get this, make a lot of new friends. At the Pengrowth Saddledome, Ryan Leslie, Shaw TV.
All right, thanks, Ryan. We've got to take a quick break, but we will be right back with a look at how an October trade changed the look of the Winterhawks defense. You're watching Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Car accidents are traumatic. That's why Calgary Coachworks strives to make your collision repairs painless and stress-free as possible. With our expert and friendly staff, you can rest assured that you'll be back on the road as soon as possible. Calgary Coachworks. Get your vehicle fixed right the first time.
Source Media Group is proud to sponsor Condo Living TV every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on Shaw. Find out more in Calgary's #1 condominium magazine, Condo Living. On stands now at over 900 locations throughout Calgary and area.
Introducing the all-new Saab 9.3 Sport Combi, born with jets in its genes.
Are you looking to get in shape? FitStart has the program to make it happen. Learn how your body gains or loses fat and the psychology behind it. Learn how to read food labels to complete your plan for long-term health. The key elements of a successful, healthy lifestyle are right here. FitStart. Call 272-UFIT.
The ML Series, featuring advanced front and rear crumple zones. It looks good, even at its worst. Hyatt Mercedes-Benz, 9th Avenue and 14th Street, downtown. Purveyors of fine automobiles.
Remember last year at this time?
We now return to the Westminster Dog Show. Next up is the Schnauzers.
Don't miss a minute of the Calgary Flames action with Shaw Pay-Per-View. Order any game right through your Shaw digital remote control. Just press menu and select Pay-Per-View. So fast, so convenient. Next game on February 6th versus the San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames on Shaw Pay-Per-View. For details, call or visit shaw.ca.
When you look in the mirror, do you see sagging skin and jowls? You may be a candidate for a breakthrough procedure that erases up to 10 years in one day. The Natural Lift is available exclusively at the Institute of Facial Surgery. The new you is just a phone call away at 286-5000.
Welcome back to WHL Central. Now, every time a trade happens, the big question that follows is who won the deal? Most of the time, one team benefits more than the other. But in the case of an October trade between the Portland Winterhawks and Vancouver Giants, the deal was beneficial for both teams. The Hawks added depth and youth to their blue line, while the Giants got a top D-man to play in tandem with Captain Mark Fistrick.
It's always an intense physical contest when two WHL rivals like Portland and Vancouver face each other. But it's extra special for a handful of players who have swapped jerseys earlier this season.
October 19th, 2005 has been as big a day as any this WHL season for both the Vancouver Giants and the Portland Winterhawks. That was the day both teams were involved in a four-player trade that saw the Hawks send blue liner Brendan Mickelson to the Giants for defensemen Max Gordachuk and Scott Gabriel, as well as 15-year-old prospect Darcy Osmond.
The move came as quite a surprise for the 6'3", 190-pound Mickelson, who had 9 goals and 23 assists in 70 games with the Hawks.
I didn't see it coming from a mile away. I was coming to the season thinking that we had a good team there and that I was going to be a big part of it, and then that happened. It was quite the shock, but now that I've got settled here and everything like that, I'm glad I'm here.
Like Mickelson, both Gordachuk and Gabriel were also taken by surprise, but look forward to playing a bigger role on their new team.
You getting a little more ice time?
Definitely I'm getting a lot more. I'm getting a regular shift here. In Vancouver I was playing like once every 4 games and getting 2 or 3 shifts a period, so definitely I play a larger role in this team, I feel.
Tell me what your thoughts were when you first heard you got traded.
At first I was a little bit disappointed, you know, and I was pretty happy here in Vancouver, but so far things have worked out, and I'm really enjoying my time in Portland.
First impressions are so important for any new player, but the adjustment has been especially difficult because of injuries, with Gordachuk battling a wrist injury and Gabriel just coming off a strained knee ligament.
It's fully healed now and fine now, so I've hit the injury bug a little bit this season, but hopefully it's over and done with in the second half and good to go.
Does that make it a little more awkward when you're trying to make an impression with a new team and you get knocked out with an injury?
Definitely. They're trying to find out what kind of player I am. You know, they've only seen me in exhibition so far, so trying to find out what kind of player I am, and it's kind of hard for me to show them when I'm sitting in the stands every game, but it's nice to be back in the lineup now.
We've had a tough time as far as a lot of injuries to a lot of key players, and it is hard for them to fit in and you know, get out there and prove their worth. But you know, they're character kids, and we're very happy with them, and for now, and I think in the future they'll be good for us also.
Ironically, in Vancouver, injuries have also been the story for Mickelson, who was forced to wait 6 weeks before making his Giants debut thanks to shoulder and knee injuries.
It was tough just being injured. Anytime you're injured, it's tough. But I think the staff here is great with me. The guys are great accepting me into the group. And then all the doctors, everything like that, who took good care of me, they treated me very well and helped me get back on the ice.
With Mickelson finally healthy, the Giants are excited about what the Mighty Ducks draftee brings to their table.
He's definitely a guy that really improved our team, and you know, it's unfortunate that he got hurt and wasn't able to keep going, but you know, he's back now, and you know, he's just really going to start getting better for us.
He's a real strong offensive, great skating defenseman. He's a good sized guy. He's a 6'2", 200-pound guy who can really skate, and you know, he's going to help our power play, and you know, this year and next year.
The Winterhawks are also looking toward the future, but admit Mickelson will be missed.
To get good players, you have to give up a good player, and obviously Brendan is a very good talent and a very good player and a very good person. So it was a tough trade to do, but that's what you have to do when you make a move like that.
For Boston Pizza, WHL Central in Vancouver, I'm Trevor Miller.
All right, 6 other games in the dub tonight. It's Saskatoon up on Moose Jaw 1-0. That's a big game for first in the Eastern Division. The Blades have a 2-point lead over Moose Jaw. Regina has a 3-1 lead over Kamloops in the third period of play. Also going on, Medicine Hat and Swift Current tied at 0 in the first. So are Brandon and Red Deer. Kelowna up 2-0 on the Kootenay Ice. Justin Keller with his 38th of the year for Kelowna. That was short-handed. And in Spokane and Tri-Cities, they're at 0 in the first period as well. Now let's go back to the Pengrove Saddledome, where Mark Stiles and Mike Muller are standing by with highlights and analysis from the first period.
No score in the Pengrove Saddledome through 20. The only time these two teams meet all year. The Portland Winterhawks calling on the Hitmen tonight, Mike, and it was a period that, no question, the Hitmen dominated. They outshot the Hawks 10-4, but no goal scoring, and 3 power plays gone. 0 for 3 in the power play.
You know, you hate to let a team off the mat a little bit here. And the Calgary Hitmen with a really good first period. They controlled the play. They got the power play chances, but Dustin Butler did a really good job in net and making sure that there was no rebounds. And for the Calgary Hitmen, sometimes when you don't score in the power play, you can give the other team a little momentum, and I'm sure Portland was talking about that in the room, beating that drum and saying, hey guys, now we got a power play to start the second period. Let's see if we can make it count.
Yeah, they do start the second period with the power play, the Portland Winterhawks, and as many shots as the Hitmen may have had, I thought a lot of the shots came from a long ways away. They didn't get a whole lot of traffic in front of Butler.
Yeah, you know, I think with Butler, the goaltender, he was able to see a lot of those shots. More importantly, I think for the Calgary Hitmen, they got to get in that crease area because that's where most of the goals are scored, not only in the Western League and the National Hockey League. And for the Calgary Hitmen, you got to pay the price. That's a tough area to go into.
If you're the Portland Winterhawks, you know this has been a long trip. It's been a tough trip. They are yet, Mike, to get a point. They have 1 point in 6 games on this road trip, and we're going to look at some first period highlights.
Yeah, the Portland Winterhawks got a tie there in Swift Current and got themselves the 1 point. But when it really comes down to it, they've really had a struggle. We see the Calgary Hitmen with playing the body, some shots to the point, and you see Butler top of the crease area, but nobody in front causing any problems. We sent a great inside move here by Merkley. Doesn't get a shot on net, but really good speed. And DuPont with the same thing. This time he gets the shot away, but the Portland defenseman with a good right leg save. And another shot from the point. We're going to see another one right from the middle of the ice here. And it looks like DuPont gets a shot through, gets by Butler, but doesn't get by the post. And the Portland Winterhawks, John Bugnick, who scored last night with really the only chance they had. That was a good wrist shot. Pogge, solid save. One thing the Portland Winterhawks are going to have to do is make sure they play the body, as we see there, a good hit on Pettersson. But Pettersson, the good player he is, gets back up and gets a nice hard shot from the middle of the ice area. There's a little bit of a change-up shot on Pogge. Sometimes those can be tough to handle. And there's Butler. Looks like that's about 4 or 5 saves in a row where it's right in the middle of the ice, right down, making the save. So good job by Butler.
Dustin Butler, third year in the Western Hockey League, solid in the first period, and as you can see, no scoring through 20. The Hitmen double the Winterhawks and a little bit more in shots on goal, and the Hawks will begin the second period on the power play, a minute 34 remaining on the penalty to Ryan White. We're through 20, it's scoreless, and we'll be back with the second on Shaw.
The standout in a sea of mediocrity, the Nissan Altima will seal your attention if you let it. Calgary's best deals are at Fish Creek Nissan, 14750 McLeod Trail South. Shift fun.
There's no such thing as the furnace fairy. So find out how to keep your furnace firing at directenergy.com.
Remember last year at this time?
We now return to the Westminster Dog Show. Next up is the Schnauzers.
Don't miss a minute of the Calgary Flames action with Shaw Pay-Per-View. Order any game right through your Shaw digital remote control. Just press menu and select Pay-Per-View. So fast, so convenient. Next game on February 6th versus the San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames on Shaw Pay-Per-View. For details, call or visit shaw.ca. Pamper your ride at High Professional Auto Detail, featuring paint protection, rock guard, interior cleaning, power polish detailing, and over 10 years experience. Hyatt Professional Auto Detail, 7373 11th Street Southeast, 1 block east of Costco South.
Sable Homes, uncommonly stylish.
Calgary Hitmen at home. Brent Sonny and company against the Portland Winterhawks. No score through 20. We are just seconds into the second period. And Mike, the Hawks begin this period on the power play.
On the power play, Portland Winterhawks got 1 goal last night on 4 chances in Red Deer in that 4-2 loss. So the power play has been successful for them. They're in the top 11 in the league.
Winterhawks' first power play chance. The Hitmen are 0 for 3 with the extra attacker in this game. Picked up by Jeff Schultz. Dumped back down. Chasing after it, Funk and Sonny. Sonny trying to knock it loose in behind Butler. Sonny working along the boards. He's out there with Covington, Carson, and Yo on this penalty kill for Kelly Kissio, Dave Lowry, and Blaine Forsyth, the coaches of the Calgary Hitmen. Bubnik picks it up on the power play, sends it back to Michael Sauer. Sauer moves it across. Back Hansen, back to Bubnik. Bubnik shoots, handled by Pogge, loses his mask on the play. Makes the save. 1 minute gone in the second period.
Nice shot by Bubnik here. Good wrist shot there. See where Wolger was? Right in front of goaltender Justin Pogge, and that makes it a tough save for Pogge as it is. The mask comes off. The puck was up high, up in the chin area, and the referee closed down the play. But the Portland Winterhawks with a real good chance early here in the second period to get on the scoreboard first.
Justin Pogge lost his mask pretty quickly there, and he had a smile on his face once he knew everything was okay, but rattled a little bit at first when you lose your goal mask and the puck's loose.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's old-time hockey playing without a mask.
That's real old-time hockey.
Most of the guys don't know what that's all about. Justin Pogge had trouble getting out to cut down the angle just because Wolger was right in front of him.
Dynas digs in for the draw against Bailey. Winterhawks have 30 seconds to go on the power play. Alzner reaching for it. Bailey sends it back to the point. Michael Sauer sends it across to Gordachuk. Gordachuk trying to slide it across. Hawks can't keep it in. Sauer brings it back to the line, but Portland has to get on side, and that will give Alzner lots of time to dump it down, and that will pretty much do it for the penalty against Ryan White. Winterhawks bring it back, and we're at even strength as White steps out of the penalty box. Neither team able to cash in on their power play chances in this game. 0 for 3. Winterhawks with their first power play, unable to score against Justin Pogge. Here's a chance. Oh, that shot just goes wide. Good chance by Wolger out front. This shot right on goal. Pogge will make the save and hold on. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw.
Boston Pizza WHL Hockey on Shaw is brought to you by Boston Pizza.
You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
A quick shot here from the boards. The rebound comes out, and the Portland Winterhawks got themselves a little momentum here to start the second period.
At one point in this game, the Hitmen are out shooting the Winterhawks 8-1. It is now 10-6 Hitmen on the shot clock. No score in the game. White to Schultz. Schultz is going to fire. Goaltender Butler's down, and there's definitely a penalty coming up. Play comes back to Carson, and the Hitmen for the second consecutive time will go to the penalty box. White took a penalty late in the first period, and now the Hitmen will take a second penalty early in the middle frame.
A shot from the point by Schultz, and I think the Calgary Hitmen were obviously told in the intermission they got to get to the net. They got to make life miserable for that goaltender Butler, because he was making every save, and this time they got too close and made contact with the goaltender. So the Calgary Hitmen are going to go back to the penalty box. Looked like Ryan Berkeley in the penalty box, and the Portland Winterhawks back to the power play. They're 0 for 1 tonight, just finishing off their first power play that started from the first period and ended the second period.
Kelly Kissio, attention to detail. They're taking notes on the bench. Riley Merkley doesn't go to the penalty box very often. It's only his 12th minor penalty of this season. But he went in on goal a little too tight with Butler, and he's in the penalty box, and the Hawks right back on the power play. 2:30 into the second period. Carson shorthanded, picks it up. Carson, LeBlanc, Danzero, and Schultz. Penalty killers for the Hitmen, who lead all teams in the Western Hockey League this season with 75 points, but late on their heels, the Medicine Hat Tigers, and the Tigers are playing tonight. They're at home against Swift Current. Portland on the power play, bringing it back, but unable to go anywhere with it. Jonathan Bubnick. Bubnick leaves it for Funk. Funk pressured by Dynas, a 20-year-old for the Hitmen. Here come the Hawks with 1:05 to go on the power play. Bubnick throws it out front. Bailey's shot is wide at Pogge. Alzner slaps it along the boards, but Funk keeps it in. Back to Hansen. Hansen moves it for Bubnick. Bubnick shoots and scores! Jonathan Bubnick, power play goal. Blows it by Pogge, and the Hawks are on the board. 1-0 Portland.
If we had a replay of Bubnick's goal last night in Red Deer, it was identical to this. He's on the short side on the hash marks. He gets it from Hansen and just releases it, goes right through the defenseman on the outside of his legs. But look where Bailey is. Bailey's right in front of Pogge. Pogge doesn't see it. This puck is by him before he even knows it. So the Portland Winterhawks with an early power play goal in the second period. And for Bubnick, he's had 4 shots tonight. Fourth one finally goes in.
Scores last night in Red Deer, scores tonight in Calgary. That's his 24th of the season for the 20-year-old. And the Hawks strike first.
Actually, Jonathan Bubnick leads the Western Hockey League in power play goals. That's his 15th of the year. So he's definitely a specialist on his goal scoring there.
15 of his 24 on the power play this season. He's on pace for 30+ this year in the Western Hockey League, and those would be his best numbers in his WHL career. And you need that from your 20-year-olds, as Justin Pogge, a 19-year-old, smothers it for the Hitmen.
You know, again, Portland coming out this period, they got a little momentum, a little bit of a shot. It goes off the back of the skate of the Calgary Hitmen defenseman. It goes right to Pogge. But again, Calgary didn't score in the first period in the power plays. Now Portland scored on there, and it might be tough for Calgary. You got to get the momentum back.
Jeff Schultz along the boards, pressured by Hodgson. Play continues in the Hitman zone. Trying to knock it loose. Brett Carson. Carson digging along the boards with Vallon, and we get a stoppage in play. 4 minutes and 5 seconds into the second period. After a scoreless first period between the Hawks and the Hitmen, Jonathan Bubnick has scored for Portland, and they lead 1-0.
the Calgary Hitmen penalty kill has been very good this year. They're 4th best in the Western Hockey League, only giving up 37 goals, but they gave up one tonight, and Jonathan Bugmick with a real good wrist shot.
Through traffic, and it beats Justin Pogge. Justin Pogge has won 13 straight games for the Calgary Hitmen in goal. And I don't need to tell anyone in our audience tonight, they know what he did on the World Junior team, 7 in a row. This guy hasn't lost in a season, it seems like.
It's going back to last year. And I know we're just into January, but that's a tremendous run by anybody, let alone a goaltender in the Junior Hockey League.
Riley Merkley, who is from Blackie, Alberta, about 45 minutes outside of Calgary, is thrilled to be back. He's a guy that plays every night, Mike, for 2 straight years, and in his 3rd year, he's missed a full month, but he's back for a 2nd straight game after coming off an injury this weekend.
Yeah, a very valuable player to his team. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to play the power play. He's a leader. Eats up lots of minutes during a game, and I know Kelly Kissel is going to enjoy looking down, seeing him on the bench.
On the topic of leaders, Michael Funk.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo Sabre pick, a team that you once played for. 19-year-old veteran of the Hawks. He's a big part of this team.
He is. And again, there's another guy who plays lots of minutes in lots of key situations.
Hey, how about your Buffalo Sabres this year?
I tell you what, they're a team that's built for the new NHL. They've got lots of speed and lots of skill up front, and they put so much pressure on the defense that they cause turnovers and they score goals.
Play in front of the Winterhawks bench, fired right back in by Portland. Justin Pogge leaves it for Carson. Brett Carson began his Western Hockey League career with Moose Jaw. Has been with the Hitmen for the past 3 years. Sawney dumps it back in over the Hawks line. Nargang sends it across. Carson gets it back. He's going to play it in front of his own goal for Schultz. Schultz looks up ice, but it's picked off by McLaren, and he'll dump it back in. And the Winterhawks will make changes as they send it in behind Pogge. Brett Carson pressured. He just about lost it. Looking for Danzero. That doesn't connect. Collins and Danzero after it. LeBlanc picks it up. Cuts to the middle. Dumps it in the corner. Danzero hauled down. And a power play chance coming up for the Calgary Hitmen. Earlier today, we asked Michael Funk, we were just talking about this Sabre pick, how a guy from Alberta likes to play in Portland, Oregon.
It's pretty special. It's a rich tradition there, and a lot of great players have come out of there to play in the NHL, and I'm very fortunate to play there. The coaching staff and the management has been really good to us, and this year hasn't gone quite as well as we've liked it to go, but hopefully we'll turn it around here last half of the season.
Yeah. Michael Funk is actually from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Mike, and can you believe, he's talking about how great the fans are, how good the organization is in Portland. The Hawks are celebrating their 30th year in Oregon.
Yeah, isn't that something? It just seems like yesterday that they went down there and set up camp, and who knew how long they're going to be there, but boy, they're a solid franchise in this Western Hockey League.
Here's a shot handled by Butler. Second shot goes wide. For those not in the know, this franchise in Portland originally started in Edmonton. This is the Oil Kings franchise, but they have been in Portland for 30 years now. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary. Brett Carson on the power play goes back. Lead pass for Brody DuPont, the Moose. Throws it out front for Merkley, tied up. Can he get a shot away? No, but he gains control. Riley Merkley on the power play. Leaves it for White. White comes out front, loses it. Merkley looking for a rebound, and it's underneath. Butler, lots of pushing and shoving in front of the Portland goal. We may get more penalties from Andy Thiessen as sticks get up high for the first time tonight.
The Calgary Hitmen are doing what they need to do on the power play, which is get the puck deep and get it to the net. And we see a great shot here. The rebound comes to DuPont. He looks like he banks it right off the outside of the post. Again, the Calgary Hitmen a lot better positioning in and around the goaltender Butler to make it difficult for him. And here we see the net coming off after it's been pushed here. But the Portland Winterhawks, who killed 3 penalties off in the first period, look like they're having a little more tough time here, and it's all because Calgary's doing a better job.
Hitmen with their 4th power play chance of the game. Turned over, chasing back after it. That's going to be offside at the Hitmen line. Hurrying back for Calgary was Lineker.
You know, sometimes on the power play, a team will give you kind of rope to hang yourself. They'll let you pass around the outside and pass around the outside, and you don't get that chance to get inside. And there's Hansen there from Denmark, and we talked about the fact how many players from Denmark, and boy, he sure played well last night in Red Deer. Lots of speed, lots of skill, and the Vancouver Canucks are pretty happy to have him.
And happy to have him playing in the Canadian Hockey League, in the Western Hockey League for the Portland Winterhawks, where they get to see him more on a more regular basis. On the power play, Alsner. Across, Yo, back to Alsner. Alsner throws it on goal. It's blocked off of Sauer. He's unable to clear. Yo to Alsner. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Dylan Yo moves it over quickly. Pettersson shot wide. Alsner pinches. Wolger after it. Reach keeps it in. Back to Alsner. His shot in traffic. Goes off Gordichuk. And it's dumped down. And the Hitmen are now 0 for 4 on the power play in this one against the Hawks. Pettersson brings it in with a nifty move. Here's a chance. That goes off the stick of the Winterhawk defender. It went off of Thunderchild, who played last year with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Here's a shot handled by Butler. And he'll smother that shot with 12:04 left in the second period.
You sense a little bit more urgency here by the Calgary Hitmen. A quick pass there by Pettersson to Dynas, who gets himself in position to get the shot away. But now the Calgary Hitmen are down a goal. You just feel that there's more urgency to get the puck in and see if they get the puck by this goaltender, who so far has been very good in the Portland net.
There's no question about that. Dustin Butler, third year in the Western Hockey League, his 33rd game of the season. Pretty much a home game for him tonight. He's from High River. And you know he's got a lot of family and friends out for his only appearance in Calgary this season. Justin Pogge behind the net, watching the play develop in behind his goal. The Winterhawks so far tonight have rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on a regular basis. Chasing after it. Ballon from the Czech Republic. It's dumped back to the Hawks zone. Gordichuk picks it up. Gordichuk a little bit of room before he dumps it ahead. Wolger, the captain of the Hawks, brings it in, trying to get it back. Pogge down, gets right back up. And is moved ahead on the wing by Letts. He's stopped by the 16-year-old who's been impressive again tonight, Seaver. The future is bright for this Red Deer kid that plays for the Portland Winterhawks. Collins dumps it right back in. In behind, Justin Pogge. Hitman set up. Kellner leaving it for Saudi. His lead pass for Danzero doesn't connect, and it's icing against the Hitmen.
Portland Winterhawks get themselves a good forecheck and turn the puck over. The pass and receive your skates, but look at trying to go back across the crease. You know what? That takes a little bit of vision and a little bit of foresight to know that, you know what, you're not going to score from that angle, but if they get it back out in front, and maybe Wolger was going to be able to bang it in. Pogge overplayed the shot because that's where he thought it was coming from, and unfortunately, the pass didn't connect.
Brett Sawney, lead pass for Danzero. Sawney still has it. Sawney along the boards, dumps it in by Bubnik. Bailey picks it up. Along the boards, Bailey through traffic, finds some room now, and here he comes. Plays it ahead for Yannick Hansen. Hansen dishes it off. Here's the shot. Good save, Pogge. Got a piece of it with his right pad. And bringing it back the other way, the former Brandon Wheat King, LeBlanc, with Danzero. Danzero stopped at the Winterhawk line. Hansen on the back end, dumps it in by Carson. Schultz will go back after it. Hawks making changes. Schultz has lots of time for Danzero. Danzero slams it off the boards. Dumped in by LeBlanc. Thunderchild on the wing for McLaren. McLaren, as we hit the halfway mark of this hockey game. Can't get it deep. Brody DuPont losing it. Hawks bring it back, and here they come. Led by Nargain. He dumps it in. Alsner plays it in behind his goal. Yo reaching for it, trying to poke it for White. White gets it. White knocked off the puck, however. Kept at the point by Funk. Shot bounces out in front, and Pogge will send it right back in behind the Hitman net. Dylan Yo setting things up. Riley Merkley swings back and moves it ahead. Merkley back for Yo. Yo and Alsner crisscross. Sent in. Icing against the Hitman. And we'll be back from the Saddle Dome where the Hawks lead 1-0 on Shaw TV.
Boston Pizza Sports Bar. How great is this? You got great food, great drinks, all your buddies. How about it, guys? Girls. It's open till like really late. You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
St. Eugene Mission Resort is the perfect getaway near Cranbrook, BC, in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. The resort is a 4.5-star hotel with world-class dining. While staying at the St. Eugene Mission, try your luck at the Casino of the Rockies and complete your getaway with a round on their 18-hole championship golf course.
Petra, Lost City of Stone, has arrived in Calgary. Now you can get there with the Petra Lost Weekends package. Enjoy 2 nights hotel, appetizer at Kaylee's Irish Pub, Calgary Tower entry, and admission to the Glenbow exhibition. For details, call the Calgary Marriott or the Hyatt Regency.
As a pharmacist, I recommend to my family and friends glucosamine chondroitin dietary supplement from Weber Naturals. Weber Naturals provides high-quality products and are the #1 choice of Canadians. Weber Naturals, glucosamine chondroitin. Ask your pharmacist about Weber Naturals and your health.
It's his 8th year as the general manager of the Calgary Hitmen, his 2nd year as a coach as well. And tonight, Mr. Kissio's team is down 1-0.
Down 1-0 after the first period of play. Dominated play, had the power plays, didn't score. Now Portland Winterhawks got themselves a goal. And Kissio, a little concerned behind the bench, but he knows he's got lots of time and lots of horses there. See if he can catch up.
Jonathan Bubnick, the only goal scorer in this game so far for the visiting Hawks, is 24th of the campaign. It came on the power play, and he has 15 of his 24 on the power play this season. Along the boards, puck goes back in behind Hoagie. The referee Thiessen trying to get out of the way as Alsner moves it ahead for White and goes way across for Dupont. Dupont tried to throw it in the slot, but it's picked off by Hansen. And the Vancouver Canuck draft choice plays it for Bubnick. Bubnick throws it in the middle, reaching for it, and getting there, Jordy Fike, but he loses it. It's sent back in by Dupont. Nice move by White. Now he'll shoot. It's blocked. Dupont after it. Can't get the shot on goal, and Schultz will dump it back in behind the Portland goal. Cody Dupont trying to cycle it along the boards. Dupont leaves it. This shot goes in the corner. Schultz backs up to the line. Brett Carson. Shot bounces right on goal. And it's gathered up by Dustin Butler, who's at the top of the crease where he's been all night.
Dustin Butler again, a little bit of a bouncing shot. And we talk about the strength of the Calgary Hitmen. Look at this, they don't have anybody in the top 53 in the league at scoring, and yet they're the top team in the Western Hockey League by points. It just goes to show you that if you're well balanced and the scoring is spread out and you got great defense and great goaltending, you can have lots of success.
Ranked 3rd in the Canadian Hockey League, and their top goal scorer is 53rd overall in the Western Hockey League. And the guy that we didn't talk about there was Gabinski of the Winterhawks. He's out again tonight. The Ranger draft choice for Portland, not on this trip. And he is a big, big part of the Portland Winterhawks, and they have missed them on this trip through the Central Division. They wrap up their road trip on the road in Calgary tonight. They played everybody in the Central, and they kicked the trip off against the BC Division's Kootenay Ice. It's been a long time on the road for the Winterhawks, and about 7 or 8 movies later, after their trip through the night on the bus, they'll be home tomorrow. Turnover, Pettersson fires, handled by Butler, and again, this guy comes out and challenges well.
Butler with a really good save, and the Portland Winterhawks, tied up in their own zone, weren't able to make that quick outlet pass to get out, then tried to go a cross ice pass, and who's standing there with Freddie Pettersson. Good positioning right in the middle of the ice, and when he gets it, he tees it up, trying to go high on Butler. Although Butler makes the save and there's a little bit of a rebound, tell you what, Pettersson got lots on that shot, and Portland Winterhawks fortunate there that the score isn't tied.
Kind of leaned into it like you do on a par 5 when the fairway's wide, right?
You know, there's like, times you get the puck and there's nobody around. It's nice to really lean into it and try to pick your spot.
Pettersson was looking for his 18th of the season. Carson can't reach it, and he'll go back. 7:25 left in the second period. The Hitmen won in this building last night in a shootout against Kelly McCrimmon and the Brandon Wheat Kings. They're yet to get on the board tonight, but they're only down by 1. Danzero couldn't pick it up. In behind the Winterhawks net, Thunderchild, the former Hurricane, back into the neutral ice area, and here come the Winterhawks, led by Nargan. 17-year-old can't get it deep. Play in front of the benches, dumped right back in by Nargan, and dumped right out by Alsner. Hit a body in the neutral ice area. This will not be icing with just under 7 minutes remaining. The lone goal scorer in this game, Jonathan Bubnik. His 24th for the Hawks, and they have a 1-0 lead on the road. Alsner moves it back, in over the Winterhawks line, but is dumped back out with a birthday boy Gordachuk, who's having his 20th birthday in Calgary tonight. Dylan Yeo brings it back. Yeo keeps on going, picks it up, throws it out front. Merkley couldn't get his stick down and unable to cause any havoc in front of the goal. And McLaren will send it in, and Yeo goes back after it, but is icing against the Winterhawks with 6:15 left in the second period.
Dylan Yeo with a really good rush down the ice, was able to get the puck to the outside, and as he got around behind the net, he tried to throw it right out front. The Calgary Hitmen had all 3 guys in really deep, and the problem with that is that if the puck gets by those guys, now you're going to give yourself an outman break going back. But we see here Yeo throw the puck out, and there's two players we see on screen, and the third Calgary forward was deep as well. So, but good job by Yeo with good rush down the ice, trying to help with his offense by moving that puck up.
It's a talented Yeo family. He has a brother that plays for the Brandon Wheat Kings, another brother that played in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. And Dylan Yeo will probably play for the Calgary Hitmen again next season. It's a possibility for certain.
And some great backyard games with those 3 boys out there. Tell you what.
The neighbors would have stories.
Oh, yeah. You not only have to be the toughest guy in your street, you got to be the toughest guy in your own house.
Picked up by Wolger. Losing it in traffic to Brody Dupont. Dupont trying to throw it back, but no one's there. Right back to the Hitman line. Bubnik. Along the boards to Wolger. Back to Bubnik. Bubnik losing it to White. Trying to pick it up in the wing. Chris Dynas, and he's able to knock it back to the Winterhawks line. Thunderchild will take it in behind Dustin Butler. 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Just over 5 minutes as the Hawks move it back up ice. Way across for Fike. For Hansen, who will tip it in. Schultz back after it with Bailey. Bailey takes Schultz down on the wing. McMillan trying to clear. That's offside as the Hawks bring it in too quickly at the Hitman line.
Portland Winterhawks trying to keep the puck in the zone there. And then Bailey with real good speed down the ice. Bailey from Anoka, Alberta gets ready and on top with the Calgary Hitman defenseman Schultz and gets a pretty good lick in there. And Schultz, a tough play as a defenseman. When you got your face up against the glass, it's real tough to make a good play. And Portland Winterhawks forecheck like that, they're going to cause some turnovers.
Dynas dumps it back in. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Along the boards, 3 or 4 players battling for it. It comes back to Lineker. Lineker will carry it himself before he dishes it off. Now it's brought in by McMillan. Back to Dynas. Blocker save Butler. Sent back in by Lineker. Along the boards, Letts after it with Fike. McMillan battling with the 16-year-old Seaver. And the Hawks gain control and move it back. Here they come. Thunderchild on the wing. Seaver throwing it out front. Letts goes back after it. Letts slams it off the boards. Collins gets it, sends it back in. That skips over the stick of Kellner. Throw out front. Here's a chance. Great chance in front of Justin Pogge for Wolger. Had an opportunity to make it 2-0. Shot goes wide of the net. Pogge down, and there's a penalty on the play. 3:28 to go in the second period. Winterhawks had pressure, and now there's a penalty coming up against the Calgary Hitmen as a result of all that pressure.
Oh, good job. The Portland Winterhawks hit the puck in the zone and the pass out front, and the shot is actually blocked by Lineker, 26. Doesn't have a stick, and not only makes the save, but he kicks the puck out. Great job of the Calgary Hitmen to keep that puck away from the goaltender Pogge. Calgary Hitmen end up taking a penalty, but again, the Portland Winterhawks, much better period, skating off the puck, getting in on the forecheck, and they've caused Calgary a whole bunch of problems. Calgary's had to take some penalties because of it.
Chris Dinas, who leads the Hitmen in penalty minutes this season, in the penalty box. Hawks on the power play. That's where their goal came from in this game. And they're back on the power play now. Bailey along the boards with Alsner. Sawney after it, the 16-year-old out there killing this penalty with Alsner, Yo, and Covington. Bubnik, the lone goal scorer in the game, sends it back to the line. Hansen's going to fire. Blocked in front of Pogge. Covington gets it. Covington, can he get it out? Yes, and it's a 2-on-1. Short-handed opportunity. Sawney takes it from Covington. Back to Covington. Can't pull the trigger. Covington couldn't get the shot away. Short-handed. And it comes back to Schultz. Schultz is going to fire it right on goal. Butler will angle it in the corner. Minute and 10 to go in the Winterhawks power play. A 2-on-1 opportunity with Covington and Sawney. But the Hawks bring it right back with the extra attacker. At the line, kept in by Michael Sauer. Sauer losing it. Puck goes up high on the back end, set in by LeBlanc. And there's 50 seconds remaining on the penalty to Dinas.
Portland not able to set up the power play as successfully as they did earlier on in this period.
Hansen finds Hodgson. Hodgson can't bring it in. Dumped down by LeBlanc.
But you got to give some credit to the Calgary Hitmen doing a much better job here of forcing the play and even created an offensive chance, a little bit of a 2-on-1.
Hitmen have a real nice Saturday night crowd in the range of 12,000 in the Pengrowth Saddledome tonight. But they have not given the home side a whole lot to cheer about. They're yet to get on the board with less than 2 minutes to go in the second. Gordichuk on the power play. Leaves it for Ballon. Ballon stopped by Carson. And here come the Hitmen shorthanded again. 8 seconds to go on the penalty to Dinas as Carson sends it in deep. Dinas back out on the ice, and we're at even strength as the Hawks send it in. Pogge out behind the goal. Leaves it. He was thinking about playing it. Justin Pogge loves to play the puck, but he left it in behind his goal. Play continues in behind the Hitmen net. Seaver and Alsner in behind Pogge. Merkley there as well. Merkley on the back end for Dinas. Dinas can't get it out. Tries again. Still unable to clear. This time it will get out in front of the Portland bench. And with a minute to go in the second period, Pogge plays it ahead. Justin Pogge for Dupont. Dupont looking for Dinas. That doesn't connect. Thunderchild gets it back. And here come the Winterhawks. Seaver dishes it off quickly. Sent right back in. Dylan Yo bouncing puck. Can he control it? Just enough to keep it away from Nargan. And here comes Merkley. Merkley brings it in. Hitman trying to tie it up late in the period. Shot, they score! This game is knotted at 1. Riley Merkley coming on the list with it, had him on the shelf for a month. Second game back, scores! It's 1-1.
That's a big goal for the Calgary Hitmen late here in the period. Merkley down the outside, kind of a bad angle, but he fires it low. It looks like it was right underneath the goaltender Butler. One of the defensemen tried to block it. He doesn't. He goes under him and then right under Butler in the back of the net. But 38 seconds to go here in the second period. The Calgary Hitmen on the board to tie the game at 1. For Riley Merkley, he's got to feel good coming back in the lineup and get himself a nice goal.
His 10th of the season. And that's a big goal for the Calgary Hitmen to tie it up late in the second period. 30 seconds to go. Merkley for the Hitmen, Bubnik for the Winterhawks. Late in the second period.
Not sure Butler picked up that puck. As the puck came underneath the defenseman's legs, I'm not sure Butler picked it up in time and it got by him.
It might have been his only mistake tonight.
Yeah, not many.
In the dying seconds of the second period, Brett Carson plays it over to Schultz. Schultz will try to get a final shot away, finds Danzero. Danzero, his shot goes off of Collins and in the corner, and we're through 40 in the Saddledome. Well, we were tied after 20, we're tied after 40. It was scoreless after 1, 1-1 after 2. And Justin Pogge, who has won 13 straight games, will go back to his dressing room, and Dustin Butler will take the Hawks back to their room.
Yeah, the goaltender is kind of the story so far. Butler in the first period, but Pogge in the second. And Portland Winterhawks get the first goal, but Calgary tying it up.
Hawks winding up a long road trip in Calgary tonight, and they're tied through 40 with the first place Hitmen. We'll be back on Shaw, but first we're going to go to Dan Elliott in Vancouver at WHL Central.
Thanks, Mark. Coming up in between periods, we will hear from Portland defenseman Michael Sauer on tonight's game. Kelly Kissio explains his reasons for picking up Derek LeBlanc at this year's trading deadline, and we learn more about life as a WHL scout. Plus, we check in with the out-of-town scoreboard, and Mark and Mike will give us their thoughts about the first 2 periods of play. That's all coming up next right here on Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Roominess, reliability, handling, and good looks, making an exceptional overall value. The Mitsubishi Lancer, the world's most efficient way to get stared at. Hyatt Mitsubishi in the Calgary Auto Mall, driven to thrill.
Streetside Development Corporation invites you to experience condominiums that defy the ordinary. Red House Condo and Latitude Townhomes are now available in Royal Oak. Visit our website for more information, streetsidehomes.com. Decidedly different.
Are you looking to get in shape? FitStart has the program to make it happen. Learn how your body gains or loses fat and the psychology behind it. Learn how to read food labels to complete your plan for long-term health. The key elements of a successful, healthy lifestyle are right here. FitStart. Call 272-UFIT.
Sleek lines, muscular shape, and refined elegance. The Acura MDX, the standard of civility in a luxury SUV. Northwest Acura, 125 Crowfoot Way, Northwest.
Now playing on Shaw pay-per-view.
This is not a war. This is an extermination.
Let's not fight.
No, let's.
Welcome back to Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. After 2 periods in Calgary, it is a 1-1 game between the Hitmen and Winterhawks. Riley Merkley scoring with 38 seconds left in the second period to tie things up. Right now, Ryan Leslie, though, is standing by at the Pengrove Saddledome with the Winterhawks defenseman Michael Sauer. Ryan?
Okay, I'm joined by Michael Sauer with the Portland Winterhawks. And Michael, tell me your thoughts on that period. You had a lead, and then, of course, the Hitmen getting a late one.
Well, we came out early, we had that power play, and it capitalized real well. Guys were flying to the net. We got to get traffic on Pogge. He's a good goalie. And, we just kept going, let down at the end. They got a good goal, but just take it to them in the third.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You've got a brother who plays with the Avalanche. You had a brother who played in the NFL. Another brother who played with the Winterhawks, and sisters playing competitive sports. Who did you turn to for sporting advice growing up?
I think all of them, they all helped me out on the way up, whether it was training or like my brother's in hockey, positioning and stuff. Yeah, they all were there for me, especially my dad too, he helped me out mentally to stay positive and, with my work ethic to keep going.
Hey, thanks for this. We do appreciate it, and good luck in the third.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. So far this season, the Calgary Hitmen have had the luxury of not having to score a lot of goals in order to win games, thanks in large part to the stellar play of Justin Pogge. However, that did not stop GM and coach Kelly Kissio from making a deal at this year's trading deadline, sending one of his best D-men, Dustin Cohn, to Brandon in exchange for centerman Derek LeBlanc.
Knowing that they were solid defensively, but fearing they lacked a little scoring punch, the Calgary Hitmen acquired him from the Brandon Wheat Kings at the trade deadline. And so far, rugged 6'2", 205-pound, 19-year-old forward Derek LeBlanc has been exactly as advertised.
I'd say just I'm a probably big power forward type of player. Just kind of play a role going in the net and popping in those greasy goals by the net, not a dangle or anything like that.
He's a gritty forward. He's got some skill, and he's not one of the guys you like playing against. He's a good guy to have on your team. He, like I said, he's gritty and he works hard, and those are the toughest guys to play against.
So it looks like Derek LeBlanc is on his way to a good offensive season with the Calgary Hitmen, but it was in the playoffs a year ago, playing for Brandon against the Hitmen, that boss Kelly Kissio of Calgary was convinced this was a player he wanted on his hockey team.
Obviously, we saw what he did to us in the playoffs last year. He was a key guy for Brandon when we played him, and we thought that he was one of the guys that beat us in that series. He was big and physical, and his presence was felt every time he was on the ice. So we always had him in the back of our mind. If we got a chance to get him, we'd go out and get him.
Pretty much right when I got here, that's pretty much the first thing that Kelly said to me was, last year you killed us in the playoffs, and we weren't going to let that happen again this year. So I think that probably contributed quite a bit into the trade, and I'm just hoping we can do the same this year.
So the importance of the Derek LeBlanc trade, as far as the Calgary Hitmen are concerned, won't necessarily be measured in the players' individual scoring numbers. The statistic that'll be really important will be the most basic one in all of hockey, and that's wins and losses come playoff time.
All right, don't go anywhere. We need to take a timeout, but we will be right back with a look at the life of a WHL scout. You are watching Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
The Saturn Ion, Hyatt Saturn Saab in the Calgary Auto Mall. People first.
Revitalize yourself. Perfection specializes in laser hair, vein, and spot removal, laser facial and IPL solutions, microdermabrasion, and facial peels. For complexion perfection, call the professional staff in Martelou.
Your footloose, fancy-free, devil-may-cry days are back. And this time you can take the kids. The Suzuki XL7. It's a real family trip. Calgary Suzuki. Make the smart move. Corner of 16th Avenue and Barlow Trail Northeast.
Remember last year at this time?
We now return to the Westminster Dog Show. Next up is the Schnauzers.
Don't miss a minute of the Calgary Flames action with Shaw Pay-Per-View. Order any game right through your Shaw digital remote control. Just press menu and select Pay-Per-View. So fast, so convenient. Next game on February 6th versus the San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames on Shaw Pay-Per-View. For details, call or visit shaw.ca.
Condo Living TV is brought to you by Source Media Group, publishers of Calgary's #1 condominium magazine, Condo Living. A new copy always available at over 900 locations throughout the city. Visit us at condolivingtv.com.
When you look in the mirror, do you see sagging skin and jowls? You may be a candidate for a breakthrough procedure that erases up to 10 years in one day. The Natural Lift is available exclusively at the Institute of Facial Surgery. The new you is just a phone call away at 286-5000.
Are you looking to get in shape? FitStart has the program to make it happen. Learn how your body gains or loses fat and the psychology behind it. Learn how to read food labels to complete your plan for long-term health. The key elements of a successful, healthy lifestyle are right here. FitStart. Call 272-UFIT.
Welcome back to Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. After 2 periods of play, it is the Winterhawks and Hitmen tied at 1. Dustin Butler and Justin Pogge backstopping their team so far, looking pretty good. Now, you go to any major bantam tournament in Western Canada, and you will notice a large contingent of guys hanging out in the corner with clipboards. Now, those would be your Western League scouts charting and comparing the best 15-year-olds around. Now, over the last number of years, scouting has become a full-time business in the Dub, with teams generally employing in excess of 10 guys on staff, hoping to find that one can't-miss prospect.
Sag it to Dawes in front of the net. Mahosky shot, scores!
There are 460 players playing in the WHL. Before any of them set foot on the ice for the first time for their respective teams, they were first seen by these guys, the scouts. These men literally spend thousands of hours in hockey rinks evaluating the top 14 and 15-year-old players in Western Canada. Ranking the top bantam players for the bantam draft that happens every May has become vital in building a winning program, and teams spend considerable amounts of time on preparation.
We have more in Alberta, we have a couple in BC, a couple in Saskatchewan, a couple in Manitoba. You know, it really depends on where you think the areas are. I mean, the Lower Mainland's huge, so we have 2 guys. But yet, we have guys in smaller towns. So we just try to spread them out where we think, areas and needs are, and most of the scouting staffs in the league are pretty similar. We all have guys in certain areas.
For these guys, a quick 6-hour trip to a small town to watch one of their listed players isn't uncommon. But they're not only scouting bantam kids.
You watch a lot of Bantam games, but you also have to keep track of your list players as well as potential list players. So we get out and watch, as a scouting staff, watch the midgets and the Bantam, or mostly the Bantams, but midgets in Tier 2 and Junior B.
Every team in the WHL employs around 10 to 12 scouts, each of them focusing on a particular area. Tournaments like this one in St. Albert are crucial because all the top-end players are in one place.
You might watch a team in your area and think that they're maybe a top team, but when they branch out and play another team from another province, you might find out different, that they don't match up as well as you thought they were.
Of those 12 scouts, 10 are part-time, with the money being minimal. But the experience of finding that diamond in the rough, well, it's priceless.
Most of the guys get a little pocket change and all their expenses covered, and it's a good gig. I mean, the guys that do it on a part-time basis love hockey, and they're all awesome guys, and they do a great job. And I mean, they have to love it because it's not a money-making venture.
Also, what we do is we spend a lot of time looking to talk to parents, see what type of kid he is. You know, if he's interested in playing in the Western Hockey League, all those things factor into it.
Most of the elite AAA Bantam teams travel with a liaison that acts as a buffer between players, their parents, and scouts. Bill Gibson is the director of hockey operations for the Notre Dame Hounds and travels with the team.
The scouts are very good in the fact that they don't disturb the kids when they're here. They may talk to their parents and so forth. And, you know, here in St. Albert, most of the parents from our team are here. And yet they come from a long ways away, but they are here. So that's fine if they want to talk to the parents. But the kids, for the most part, they just worry about hockey, and that's about it.
Once a player has made it onto a team's radar, scouting staffs throughout the league keep track of players using a program called RinkNet, which scouts can use to input all the information that's relevant about a player.
And we'll all file reports on various kids, and then it's all a data bank that Mr. Sutter can look at should he go into and see the progress of kids throughout the year.
Keeping track of the progress throughout the year, with it all coming together in hopes of capturing that elusive WHL championship. Kevin Vero of Shaw TV.
All right, 6 other games in the WHL tonight. It was Moose Jaw over Saskatoon 3-2. Big win for them. They are now tied for first in the Eastern Division with 60 points. There's also Regina over the Blazers 4-1. Captain Kyle Deck had 3 assists for the Pats. They now trail Moose Jaw and Saskatoon by 3 points. Also, Medicine Hat trails Swift Current 1-0 in the second period. Same score between Red Deer and Brand. The Rebels up 1-0 in period number 2. Kelowna crushing Kootenay. They lost 5-1 Kootenay, that is, to the Giants last night. They're down 5-0 in the second to the Rockets. 5 separate scores. Blake Coleman with 2 assists in that one. And it's Adam Hobson with a goal for the Spokane Chiefs as they lead Tri-City 1-0 after 1 period of play. All right, back we go to Calgary, where Mark Stiles and Mike Moeller are standing by with a recap of the second period between the Hitmen and the Winterhawks. Guys?
All right, we're tied 1-1 through 40, Mike Moeller. And what's interesting is the Winterhawks are playing their 6th consecutive game on the road. They haven't won a single game yet on the road. They've got 9 shots in goal through 40 minutes in this one in Calgary tonight, but they're alive. Hey. It's 1-1, even though they've had 9 shots on goal.
Yeah, 1-1. They opened the scoring. Bubnick on a nice power play shot. They got them the lead and gave up a late goal at the end of the period there, and you hope that doesn't get them back on their heels. But this is a good team they're playing, the Calgary Hitmen, a team that's played very well in this rink. And I look for Portland to try to just hang in there as long as they can, try to get a couple breaks, and if they get on the power play, maybe they can get another one.
All right, let's have a look at the highlights now. It was scoreless after 1-1 through 40 minutes of play, and we're going to look at the highlights in the second period, Mike.
We're going to run through these pretty quick here, but we see the Portland Winterhawks go over to Bubnick, and this is the shot. He takes it and knocks Pogge's helmet off. But don't blink, because we're going to get another view of a similar play he's going to score on. But there's Merkley going to the net, and Merkley had a real good period. But here's I'm talking about Bubnick, almost identical. Oh, this one goes in the net. Good shot there by Bubnick. Great job in front of the net, offering the screen, and Portland gets on the board with the first goal of the game. And some bodies being knocked down on the ice there. Danzero on his seat of the pants there, but you know he'll get up. And here's White with a good shot. DuPont, he wants that one back. And again, Calgary getting the puck to the crease, and Butler, I mean, just doing what he's got to do, which is just hold the fort. Eventually, Calgary gets another opportunity here. And Portland first with a good shot. Here's Pogge. What a great right pad save. And the shot there from the far out. And here's Pedersen. This is the save I was talking about earlier in the period where Pedersen really got lots on it. Bailey with a nice hit in the corner on Schultz. Not easy knocking Schultz down on the ice. He's a big boy. Berkeley on the goal. Quick wrist shot. And you know what? Youngsters can really get a feeling sometimes. It's not the big slapper some nights. It's that quick wrist shot. As we saw it goes under the defenseman and right through Butler. And that was a tying goal late in the period. 38 seconds to go as we see on the summary.
Jonathan Bubnick, 24 on the season. 15 of those have been on the power play. There has been no other player in the league that has more power play goals than Jonathan Bubnick. 15 of his 24 on the power play, and that was a power play goal to put the Hawks out in front 1-0. Welcome back, Riley Merkley, after missing a month or so. Came back and played against Brandon last night. Tonight he scores his 10th of the season from Dylan Yeo and Carl Alsner late in the period, Mike. Only 38 seconds to go in the period. Hitmen tied at 1. Big crowd tonight in the Saddle Dome, and the third is next on Shaw TV.
The vehicle of choice for people with way too much to do. The Saturn Vue is the gateway to adventure. Get your keys. Crowfoot Saturn Saab, Crowfoot Center Northwest. People first.
There's no such thing as the furnace fairy. So find out how to keep your furnace firing at directenergy.com.
The swanky sedan in the VW lineup, the Passat. Northland Volkswagen, Canada's largest volume dealer. No one sells for less. Corner of Crowchild Trail at Northland Drive Northwest. Drivers wanted.
Remember last year at this time?
We now return to the Westminster Dog Show. Next up is the Schnauzers.
Don't miss a minute of the Calgary Flames action with Shaw Pay-Per-View. Order any game right through your Shaw digital remote control. Just press menu and select Pay-Per-View. So fast, so convenient. Next game on February 6th versus the San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames on Shaw Pay-Per-View. For details, call or visit shaw.ca.
Sable Homes, uncommonly stylish.
Knotted at 1 through 40 minutes of play in Calgary. The Western Hockey League on Shaw. Scoreless after 1, 1-1 after 2. And we'll see what this third period gives us between these two teams. It's the only time all year the Winter Hawks and the Hitmen meet. Last year they met once as well. The Hawks won at 3-1 in Portland. This year Portland comes calling on Calgary. And certainly undecided as we slide our way into the third. Here comes Hansen. He had an assist on the Bubnick goal. Shot save, Bodie. Puck's loose. Dupont reaches for it. Can he clear? No. Hansen moves it back to the line. Sauer, shot blocked. Merkley reaching for it. Good pressure by the Hawks early in the third period. Schultz dumps it in behind his net. Jonathan Bubnick, who has the only goal for the Hawks, was trying to keep it in, but he was unable to. But a great start to this period for the Portland Winterhawks. They're having a dreadful road trip. They've lost 5 straight on the road, but their final game on the road, they have a chance to get a point or more in Calgary tonight against a very tough Hitmen team. They lead all teams in the Western Hockey League this year. The Calgary Hitmen, 75 points, 1 more than the Medicine Hat Tigers, who are second overall in the WHL. Here's the shot by Sawney. It bounces in, and reaching for it, Dustin Butler. We'll be back on Shaw.
Boston Pizza WHL Hockey on Shaw is brought to you by Boston Pizza.
You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
The Winterhawks came out flying to begin this period.
Yeah, Justin Pogge make a real good save off of Bubnick, and then he was able to kick the rebound just past the Portland Winterhawk forward.
Butler had to be sharp there. LeBlanc pressured along the boards by Hodson. Hodson tying up LeBlanc. Reaching for it, Brett Sawney, but gathering it up is McLaren, and McLaren moves it in behind his goal for Michael Funk. Funk looking ahead. Hodson couldn't control. Yo for Alsner. Alsner brings it back. The Winterhawks are making changes. Carl Alsner keeps on going. The defenseman Ragging it along the boards, tied up by the 16-year-old Seaver. Covington in the corner, trying to throw it out front. No one there, so he'll move it back in behind the Hawks net. Play continues in the corner. Back to the line. The shot by Kellner. Redirected, and it goes in the corner. Play back in behind the Portland Winterhawks goal. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the third. Back to the line. Kellner sends it in the corner. Along the boards, Covington picks it up. Stephen Covington in traffic, trying to push it along the boards. He's there with Nargang, and Nargang just slaps it out. Picked up and moved back towards the Portland line, but Seaver gets it. The Red Deer native dumps it in, and Pogge plays it way ahead for Covington. Covington trying to get loose on Sauer. Sauer ties up Covington, and Collins falls down, but he's able to move it ahead on the wing and is dumped back to the Hitmen line. After it, Lineker to Schultz. Schultz plays it ahead, rubbed out. Hawks will bring it back to their own zone. It is played by Sauer. Sauer looking for a pass, doesn't have one, so he's going to carry it. Sauer brings the puck all the way to the Hitmen line and keeps on going. Along the boards, it's picked up and moved in behind the Hitmen goal by Letts to Schultz. Schultz for Dynas. Dynas goes way across for Letts. Letts will play it back to Schultz. 3 minutes and 25 seconds into the third period. Still tied on Shaw, the Hawks and the Hitmen. And when we get a stoppage in play, we have a very special guest on this broadcast that's going to join us in a moment. Letts will play it back to his line. Schultz for McMillan. And that is icing against the Hitmen. 16-19 to go in a tied-up third period between the Winterhawks and the Hitmen. And a former WHLer is in the building, and a guy that won a Stanley Cup in this building. I believe that Ryan Leslie has Mike Vernon.
That's right, Mark. A two-time Stanley Cup winner. Mike Vernon joins me, also a former Calgary Wrangler. And maybe some people didn't know this, but you won the Memorial Cup with the Portland Winterhawks. Tell me about that team, Mike.
Those were the days when you could call up a third goaltender. And I actually played with Portland down in Hull, Quebec, in the year before. And that was a controversial thing because Lethbridge had won the Western Hockey League, and they beat out Portland in the semifinals, or in the finals. And I got called up by Portland, and it was controversial a bit. And now you can't do that anymore. I guess they put the Mike Vernon law in there now, but no, it was a great experience. And the Western Hockey League is a great league, and look at all the great players that come from it. So it was fun.
Yeah. Now tonight, WHL Alumni Night. They brought you back. What are you doing here this evening?
Well, just signing a few autographs and things like that, and dropped the puck earlier with the Wendy's people, and that's about it. And sitting here talking with you.
Yeah. Well, what keeps you busy these days? You're living in Calgary. What are you doing these days?
Yeah, I do a little development. I have a project out in Victoria called Bear Mountain Golf Course and Development. And do a few things in town here in Calgary. So it keeps me busy enough, and I got a family, 4 kids, which keeps me really busy. So it's all good.
Well, thanks for this. So we'll let you get back to your seats. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks, Mike.
Great, thank you.
Guys?
Much, Ryan. Always great to see Mike Vernon back to his roots. And as he mentioned, he played with the Portland Winterhawks in their playoff drive. 1982 would have been that year. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike Moeller, but you played against Mike Vernon in the Western Hockey League.
I certainly did. He was a tough guy to get the puck by. First time I got a chance to play against him was in midget when we played in the Alberta Championship to represent the province. At that time it was called the Air Canada Cup. And he was here in town playing the Rangers. I was in Red Deer. Unfortunately, we were able to get enough pucks by him to go, but he certainly stopped more than his share against me and my teammates in Lethbridge with the Broncos.
Longtime major junior hockey fans in Calgary will remember a game where Mike Vernon played for the Calgary Wranglers and Grant Fuhr played for the Victoria Cougars, and it was a Game 7 that was one of the all-time major junior classics in Calgary. Vernon at one end, Fuhr at the other. Here's a chance. That goes over the crossbar. Shot off the blocker of Pogge, looking for the rebound. Seaver fires, puck's loose. Let's trying to move it out, but he's tied up. Hawks keep it in. 14-15 to go in the third period. And this one tied up in the Saddle Dome. Here comes Pettersson. Pettersson trying to move out front. He does. Scores! Oh, what a goal! Freddie gets loose, and the Swede puts the Hitmen up 2-1.
It's just a matter of time before Freddie Pedersen gets loose, and boy, he's got great speed, but look at the hands here and the cutting to the net. That's not easy to do, because as you're going one way, the momentum doesn't want to allow you to go the other way, and not only getting the puck to the net, but scoring a great goal. The Calgary Hitmen take a lead at 2-1. Butler did what he had to do, was try to force him to go across the net, but Pedersen too quick, and the Portland Winterhawks defenseman just couldn't handle that speed.
18 goals, 35th point, and the Hitmen have their first lead of the game. That goal coming 5 minutes and 58 seconds into the third period. He is one skilled Western Hockey Leaguer, Frederick Peterson, who gives the Hitmen a 1-goal lead in the third.
Very dynamic, and we talked during the game about about his ability, and look at the speed and the crossover step, and the tough part about that for a defenseman, when he crosses over, if you're not going the same speed he is, he's going to get by you. And unfortunately for Portland, he put the puck in the net as well.
Dumped back in by the Hawks. Dylan Yeo for Dynas, and Dynas looks way across, trying to connect with McMillan. He's tied up along the boards. Back to Dynas, he's going to shoot. Butler got enough of it to knock it wide, and it comes off the backboards, and he'll smother that one with 13:30 left to go in the third.
Well, the Calgary Hitmen look like they smell a little bit of blood here. They've got Portland on their heels. They've come back from a 1-goal deficit to get themselves a 1-goal lead, and there another good shot. Dynas right in the high slot, gets a quick shot away, and the Portland Winterhawks are going to have to make sure they can do a better job in their own zone and try to create some offense.
Merkley has the other Hitman goal tonight. Merkley and Pedersen. Bubnik for the Hawks. Here's the shot. Stick save. Butler as Dupont wired it from the point. Ryan White chips it in the corner. Brody Dupont chases after it. Bailey takes him out of the play. Funk trying to knock it loose behind the Hawks net. Thunderchild back to Funk. Funk looks ahead. Picked off by Merkley in the neutral ice area. And on the backhand, the Black Alberta native will send it in. Thunderchild chasing after it with Funk. Funk dumps it in the corner. Thunderchild picks it up, has some time. He's able to find Bailey, who misplays it, and Merkley keeps it in. Here's a chance of a turnover, but the Hitmen are unable to get a shot on goal, and it comes the other way. Hansen dishes it off, shot wide. Hansen on the wing, shoots again. Hoagie makes the save, hauls it in, and smothers it with less than 13 minutes remaining in the third period.
Well, this line for Portland's been the most dangerous here all night long. We got Bubnik, we got Hansen and Bailey, and they move the puck so well to each other. They seem to know where each other is. Bubnik misses the net on the one side, but Hansen gets the rebound off the end boards and fires it at net. Pogge with the save and then covers up on the rebound.
Justin Pogge has won 13 straight games in goal. This guy hasn't lost a game in between the Hitmen pipes since before Christmas. And when he was gone at Christmas, he played for the World Junior team, as you know, and was perfect, 7-0. Canada wins gold with Justin Pogge in goal. LeBlanc chips it in, and that's offside at the Hawks line.
Yeah, the Portland Winterhawks had an opportunity before that goal by Freddie Peterson. A good chance by Sevier. I mean, we got Sauer on the back end. This guy is a workhorse. Saw him last night in Red Deer. He plays a ton of minutes. Right-hand shot, plays physical, but moves the puck out of his zone. Not a big high scorer, but certainly a solid defenseman for the Portland.
Manitoba native, draft choice of the New York Rangers. And here come the Hawks, trying to knot it up. Lots of time left in the third. It's our first regional game on Shaw tonight. We're glad you're joining us from the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary, and it's been tight all night, and a chance there to make it even again for Seaver, the 16-year-old rookie, but he couldn't beat Pogge. Here's the shot, and that won't beat Pogge either.
Good job there by the Portland Winterhawks to get the puck out front. Seaver with a bang-bang play, and then they recover the puck and get it back to the point for another chance. And a lot of times against a good goaltender like Pogge, you're going to have to get more than one shot. McLaren and his teammates, Bergong and Sevier, out in the ice, create some problems. With Pogge, it's not the single shot. You might have to get that second or third or fourth chance in order to get the puck by him.
Justin Pogge has rewritten the Hitman goaltending record book this year. 8 shutouts.
That's just tremendous. I mean,
5 was the previous record.
There's guys who they don't get 8 in their career, let alone a season.
No kidding. Pogge reaches for that one. Quick whistle. And the puck will be dropped to his left side. Brent Cron and Alexander Fomichuk both had 5. Hoagie has 8 and counting.
Portland Winterhawks here with another win draw back to the point and a good shot. And you know, anytime you can win the faceoff in the offensive zone, you should get a shot on net. And Portland did that. Portland with 14 shots on net now. Mark, they only had 9 after 2 periods, so they've already got 5 here in the first 8 minutes of this period.
Mike, fans of the Western Hockey League in Alberta, where we're broadcasting this game tonight, just do not see the U.S. division very often. The Winterhawks are from that division. What have you heard about the U.S. this year?
Very competitive, a lot of parity, and you know, from first to last, there really isn't a whole big difference, and it just seems like what team is kind of on a hot streak or what team's on a losing streak kind of determines what positions they are.
18 points separate first from fifth in the U.S. Everett leading the division entering play tonight. Spokane in the basement, but only 18 points from top to bottom. As a comparison, in the Central where the Hitmen play, 40 points separate the first place team from the last place team. And there's a penalty coming up with 11:29 to go in the third. Hitmen by 1, now on the power play. Covington hauled down, and the Hitmen will get a chance with the extra attacker.
Yeah, we just saw the replay there, and you know, again coming off the bench and trying to get the puck and not getting the puck, but getting the feed. And next thing you know, in the penalty box.
Brett Carson on the power play, setting up in behind his goal. Long-time Western Hockey Leaguer. Before the season is over, he'll play 300 games in the WHL. Brett Carson on the power play with DuPont. White on the puck, back to Carson. Schultz on the power play as well. White moves it to Merkley. Merkley comes out front. Stick save. Butler. Rebound. And the Hawks will get it back. Bailey takes his time on this penalty kill. Killing off some seconds. Shoots it into the trapper of Pogie. Leaves it for Carson. $1:20 to go on the Hitman power play. Woolger in the penalty box for the Winterhawks. And here comes Carson. Brett Carson, who was the fastest skater at the top prospects game a couple of years back. 99% of the time plays in the back end for the Hitmen, but occasionally Dave Lowry and Kelly Cheel will play him up front. Because this guy, for a big guy, Mike, can skate and he can get from A to B in a hurry.
Yeah, very, very strong, and for a guy that plays defense, not bad hands.
Dan Giroux brings it back in the power play, leaving it. Lineker waits, now he'll shoot. It's redirected out front by Sonny. Lineker shoots again. That shot goes off the glass in behind the Portland goal. Schultz trying to keep it in at the point. Hitmen keep it in. 35 seconds to go with the extra attacker. Shot by Sonny. Puck's loose. Rebound there. Dan Giroux. Back to Lineker. Hitmen would like to find a little bit of breathing room here in the third period in a one-goal hockey game. Dumped back in by Lineker. On the doorstep, they score! Brett Sonny went to the net, and the Calgary Hitmen get a power play goal. It's 3-1.
A little bit of a break there for the Calgary Hitmen. That shot was going wide. It hits the end board and come out, and I think it might have hit Butler and then fell either on the line or over the line. But here we see the shot. Lineker, it comes off the end boards, and again it's lying in the crease, but I think it was already over the line before Sonny put the puck in. But unfortunately, the Portland Winterhawks, good power play with the Calgary Hitmen, though. There we see it bouncing out, and all of a sudden it's in the net. And, you know, bounces and hops or breaks are part of the game, and Portland Winterhawks, who I thought played pretty well for 2 periods, have had a couple bad breaks in the third period. Now they're down 2-1.
The original shot came from Craig Lineker. It bounced off the backboards, and Sonny will get credit for the goal. And the Hitmen, for the first time tonight, have a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, 2-goal lead. The Calgary Hitmen, who dominated the first period but ended up down 1-0 early in the second, have come back and now have a 3-1 lead here with 9:24 to go here in the third period.
Dumped out into the neutral ice area by the Hawks, and here they come. Leading the way is Ballon, and he is rocked, and there's a penalty coming up with 9:10 to go in the third. The Hitmen are going to be short-handed. We'll go to commercial and come back on Shaw.
Boston Pizza is a great place to bring the entire family. Mind if I join you? Hello? I'm Family Share. Is Howie your favorite family member? You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
St. Eugene Mission Resort is the perfect getaway near Cranbrook, BC, in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. The resort is a 4.5-star hotel with world-class dining. While staying at the St. Eugene Mission, try your luck at the Casino of the Rockies and complete your getaway with a round on their 18-hole championship golf course.
Petra, Lost City of Stone, has arrived in Calgary. Now you can get there with the Petra Lost Weekends package. Enjoy 2 nights hotel, appetizer at Kaylee's Irish Pub, Calgary Tower entry, and admission to the Glenbow exhibition. For details, call the Calgary Marriott or the Hyatt Regency.
As a pharmacist, I recommend to my family and friends glucosamine chondroitin dietary supplement from Weber Naturals. Weber Naturals provides high-quality products and are the #1 choice of Canadians. Weber Naturals, glucosamine chondroitin. Ask your pharmacist about Weber Naturals and your health.
The home side has scored 3 unanswered goals. Dylan Yeo and the Hitmen lead the Winterhawks 3-1. Mike Moeller, but they're shorthanded now.
Oh, we see the hit there that caused the penalty. Yeo gets his, not so much a roughing call with his glove, but he gets his forearm up, and as he does, that's what causes the problem. Watch here, boom, and Portland Winterhawk goes down on the ice, and he kind of gives the old shrug like, what was that? That's called a train coming through the middle of the ice.
The Czech Republic player, Stanislav Balin, will turn 20 tomorrow, but not before he was rocked here tonight. That's Sonny on the penalty kill with Covington, Schultz, and Carson. And on the power play for the Hawks, here they come. Hansen moves it ahead for Baylor. Early stops, sets up rocked here tonight. That's Sonny on the penalty kill with Covington, Schultz, and Carson. And on the power play for the Hawks, here they come. Hansen moves it ahead for Baylor. Early stops, sets up shop inside the Hitman zone. A chance for the Winterhawks to get to within 1 over the halfway mark of the 3rd period. Portland struck first in this game. Jonathan Bubnick back in the 2nd period on a Portland power play. Their only goal tonight on the power play.
Yeah, Portland 1 for 3 tonight. We're 1 for 4 last night, but they really need a power play goal here.
Do they ever, if they're going to have any chance of getting a point or more against the Hitmen? Down by 2 with 8:20 to go in the 3rd. They would like to score here to give themselves a chance in the latter part of the 3rd period. Bailey picks it up. Funk back to Bailey. Bailey pressured, moves it to Funk. Nice play on the wing, and the Hawks keep it in. Hansen, high slot shot. Pogge makes the save. Bailey keeps it in. Lots of time going the power play. Trying to pick it off Dynas. He does. Dumps it out. He chases after a loose puck. Pockets a race. Funk and Dynas. Dynas loses pretty much everything. His stick, one of his gloves. Couldn't pick up the puck. And here comes Bubnick, the lone scorer for the Hawks. Bubnick leaves it. Good play by Danzero to tie up the lawn. Here's the shot handled by Pogge. And there's 26 seconds remaining on the minor penalty to Dylan Yeo.
We saw Dynas do a great job on the penalty kill. You can see the glove down the end of the ice. And looked like a garage sale at one point. Sticks and gloves anywhere. But Pogge down at the other end, making the save and not offering any rebound whatsoever for the Portland forwards to kind of feast on. There's Bubnick, the goal scorer. Again, quick release. He's able to get the puck in the shooting position and snap it as quick as possible. And that's what goal scorers do. They get the puck away on net as fast as they can.
The Winterhawks, I love the jerseys, Mike. I got to tell you, it's like watching the Chicago Blackhawks on the road. Identical, isn't it, in terms of the look?
It's a real classic jersey. They got the P up in the shoulder instead of the C for Portland. And again, they got the white and the red, but they've also got the black, kind of the 3rd jersey.
And we've got another penalty. This one will be against the Winterhawks. 21 seconds remaining on the original penalty to Dylan Yeo, but now it's going to be 4 skaters aside for the first time tonight, and we'll have a look at the penalty.
Yeah, it looked like we got a holding call here. Right there. No, lifting up the centerman's legs and knocking him on the ice. And Balan, who had actually gotten himself a hit earlier by Yeo for a penalty, now takes a penalty himself.
And so far, it's been a road trip to forget for the Portland Winterhawks and their coach, Mike Williamson. 0 for 5 on this trip. They wrap it up in Calgary tonight, and with just over 7 minutes to go, they're down by a pair. And now they're short-handed for the next 1 minute and 35 seconds as Schultz takes it in behind Pogge. Yeo comes out of the box and goes right to the bench. And Kelly Kissio gets his power play unit out there. Schultz dumps it in. Bubnick back to the Hawks, clears. It goes off Michael Sauer's stick. Merkley hauls it in to Schultz, over to Carson. Carson Makes his way back to the Winterhawks line. Pressured along the boards by Bailey, who's been an effective Hawk tonight. Thunderchild dumps it in behind his own goal, but Ryan White is there to pick it up. Second-year Hitman back to Schultz in his 4th year in the WHL. Over to Carson, shot, pad save, puck's loose, still loose. White looking for the puck, but it was gathered up by Dustin Butler, the Portland goaltender.
Oh, Butler makes the save, but not without some traffic in front, and the puck kind of bouncing around. And Calgary, since the first period, had done a much better job of getting guys to the net. Here we go, see Dupont, and White comes in, he whacks at it, but Butler makes the save. And the first period, Calgary was getting shots from the outside, but nobody was getting in that blue or paint area, causing the goalie problems. But ever since then, they've done a much better job and have themselves a power play goal tonight as well.
Brody Dupont having a very good season for the Hitmen in his 2nd year. Into the draw, Merkley along the boards. Bailey there, Dupont, White comes up with it on the power play. Carson over to Schultz, out front for White. It goes off his skate, he'll get it back. Ryan White, the Brandon native. All the way back for Schultz, shot handled by Butler. Wolger couldn't pick it up for Portland. Schultz keeps it in. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Merkley and White. Comes back to Carson, he pinches. Keeps the Hitman on the power play, but not for long because it's picked up by Michael Funk, and he dumps it down. And Pogge plays it way ahead for Carson. Still 20 seconds to go in the power play. Merkley brings it in. Losing it. In behind the net, Gordachuk. Good play by LeBlanc to keep it in. Now he's going to shoot. That's blocked. It went off of Gordachuk. Picked back up along the boards by LeBlanc. He's pressured, but he dishes it off. Lineker plays it back to LeBlanc. Thrown out front. We're back at even strength. The penalty is over. And coming out of the penalty box and picking it up is Ballon. Ballon brings it in. Shot, stick, save, Pogge. Danzero picks it up, but it was hit with a high stick first, so we'll have a stoppage in play with 5:18 left in the 3rd, and the Calgary Hitmen trying to win their 4th consecutive hockey game.
And Ballon comes out of the penalty box there and picks up the puck, and as he drives in, he gets a good shot on net. Portland Winterhawks kill off that penalty, but time is certainly a little bit of an enemy here. Here's the shot. Ballon gets through, and a high stick there by the Calgary defenseman, and then was picked up. That's why the play was blown down.
5:12 left in the 3rd. The Winterhawks struck first in this game. The Hitmen have come back with 3 unanswered goals from 3 different sources. Merkley, Pettersson, Sawney. 1 power play, 2 even strength goals for Calgary. The lone Winterhawk goal from Bubnik was on the power play. Back 5 minutes and 58 seconds into the 2nd period. Covington knocked off the puck. Norgang looking for Seaver. Pettersson, who has one of the goals for the Hitmen tonight, dumps it back in. Picked up by Jordy Fike. He plays it ahead. Lifted high. Skips back inside the Hitman zone. No icing. Lineker will take it in behind Justin Pogge with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Our broadcast crew tonight in the booth, Mark Stiles, Mike Moeller, and in Vancouver at WHL Central, Dan Elliott. It's our first regional game of the year on Shaw. Lots more to come in the Western Hockey League. Brody Dupont loses it in behind the Portland goal. To our viewers in Portland on Comcast tonight, we say hello as well. The people back in Portland, the Winterhawks supporters, are picking this one up on Shaw as well. Roger's shot handled by Pogge. Pogge will just grab it and hold on with exactly 4 minutes to go in the period, Mike.
The Portland Winterhawks just trying to get as much as they can thrown towards the net there. We see Wolger with kind of a long wrist shot from outside what we call the scoring zone. But again, in the game of hockey, you never know. A shot on net can bounce, can hit a deflection, and go off the defenseman's skate and make it tough for the goaltender. This Calgary Hitman team have really done a good job after going down 1-0 early, getting themselves back in the game.
Justin Pogge looking for his 14th consecutive win. The Hitmen are looking for their 4th consecutive win. This Hitman team has a chance to win 50 on the season, Mike. They've already got 37. They got 22 to go. And if you win 40 in a 72-game campaign, most people will tell you that's a good year. If you win 50, you battle for 1st overall, and that's what the Hitmen are doing.
That's no doubt. Portland Winterhawks here got the goalie pulled. They were 3:35 to go. They're down by 2 goals.
Do you like that move?
Well, you know what? You got to score in order to win. I think if they can get a goal here, they might put the goalie back in and wait for the last minute.
And they're going to get an offensive faceoff as Pogge will smother it with 3:22 left in the third period. Why not? It's been a long, long road trip for the Winterhawks, Jannik Hansen and company. And why not pull the goalie and give yourself a chance when you're down by a pair?
And give yourself a chance here. Williamson trying to give himself a little bit of a power play advantage because he's going to have 6 skaters against Calgary's 5. The downside of that is the empty net back there for the Calgary Hitmen to shoot at.
Dustin Butler, I thought, played well for the Winterhawks tonight.
Oh, he certainly did. He kept his team in it.
Dumped out. And a rolling puck. Hansen gets back just in the nick of time. And he's able to keep it at 3-1. Alon picks it up. Remember, the net is still empty with 3 minutes to go, and the Hawks down by a pair. Alsner along the boards, trying to kick it loose. Now he'll try to get a whistle, and that's exactly what he does deep inside the Hitmen zone. You know, the Hitmen are having a terrific year. They're first in the Central. They're looking for their 38th win of the season. But Brett Carson will tell you, there's been a lot of close games.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, it'd be nice to win a couple by more than 1 goal, but I think with the D-core we got, and especially Pogge and net, you know, going into the third, usually we're tight and we know that we have confidence in him, and I think that helps a lot going into the third, and I think other teams are a little shaky thinking, you know, it's going to be tough to go and pass Pogge. So, you know, I think that's really helped our confidence, and that's why we can win those 1-goal games.
The Hawks have had their goaltender Butler on the bench for almost a full minute, but they're yet to really get a high-quality scoring chance to pull to within 1. Hitman would love to score an empty netter and seal it with 2:25 to go in the third. Ryan White scoops it. Hansen keeps it in. Hansen along the boards. Bailey, who's logged a lot of ice time for Mike Williamson tonight. Kept in by Michael Sauer. Danzero trying to knock it out, and he'll do exactly that, but Hansen picks it back up. Hansen pressured by LeBlanc. Sauer chips it ahead. White losing it. Bailey gets it, sends it in, and we have 2 minutes to go in the third period. Hitman by a pair. The net is empty, and it has been for over a minute. Seaver couldn't move it back in over the Hitman line, and it's dumped in by Son.
The tough part about pulling that goalie so early is that you have to probably make at least 1 or 2 changes on the offense. Usually when you pull the goalie, the 5 or 6 guys are out in the ice, they stay there.
Here's a chance to win it, and they do! 4-1 off the stick of Carson McMillan.
A little bit of a turnover there just inside the line. Portland trying to get the puck by the forecheck, and McMillan picks it up. And Sawyer put on his leg to see if he can stop it, but he's not much of a goalie, and it goes in the back of the net. So goaltender Butler will come back in. McMillan got his head up. You can see Sawyer tries to poke out that left leg, but not in time. And Portland Winterhawks, again, just one of those games where they didn't get a lot of breaks, but on the other side, the Calgary Hitmen, they really turned it up here, especially in the third period, and kind of took the game away.
Portland Winterhawks will go home after this game in Calgary tonight. Rest for a while, then they'll play in Spokane, yet another road game next Friday night before they finally play a home game after 7 straight on the road. A week from tonight, they're back in Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. But it has been a dreadful trip for the Winterhawks. They lost every single game in the Central Division. Before this trip began, they played in Kootenay against the Ice. Lost that game as well. They had 1 point on this trip, an overtime loss in Swift Current to the 4th place team in the Central. But in fairness to the Winterhawks, they have been without arguably their best player for this entire trip, Brandon Dubinsky, the draft choice of the Rangers, who's actually from Anchorage, Alaska, is home and nursing an injury. Kelly Kissio, after tonight, Mike, his team will have played 50 games. They've won 38 out of 50. Wow.
That's a great start to the season, and 2/3 in. And for Kelly Kissio and the Calgary Hitmen, they're doing what they need to do. They want to stay ahead of the Medicine Hat Tigers in the Central Division, and the way you do that is you win games.
Tigers are playing tonight, 1 point back of the Hitmen. They're at home against the Swift Current Broncos, and you know when we go back to WHL Central, Dan Elliott will give us an update on all the out-of-town scores in the Western Hockey League. Riley Merkel dumps it back in. And that will be offside against the Calgary Hitmen with 31 seconds to go.
Hitmen fans here, no doubt, have got themselves a good game to cheer here late in the game. Their team's up. They've played pretty well. And the Portland Winterhawks are a team that they're going to look forward to getting on the bus and getting out of this Central Division to get back home.
Good crowd in the Saddle Dome tonight, in the range of 12,000. One of the larger crowds for the Hitmen this year. A Saturday night affair against the Portland Winterhawks. 4-1 in the dying seconds. Riley Merkel has one of those 4 goals. So does Frederick Pettersson as they bring it in over the Hawks line. And the Hitmen are nationally ranked this year. Frederick Pettersson, one of the goals. Hitmen are ranked 3rd overall in the Canadian Hockey League. The Medicine Hat Tigers are 2nd overall in the Canadian Hockey League.
Well, it might be why the Portland Winterhawks might have had a little bit of a tough time through the Central Division. You got 2 teams, Medicine Hat and Calgary, ranked 2 and 3 in the whole Central Hockey League, and that's 2 of the games they had to play. And you take into consideration that Lethbridge and Red Deer play very well in their own rink, and next thing you know, you're 0-4.
And the Wildcats, who are ranked #1 in the Canadian Hockey League, are hosting the Memorial Cup come May. This one is in the books in the Saddle Dome. Justin Pogge has won his 14th consecutive game in goal for the Hitmen. The Hitmen have won 38 of 50 on the season. The Winterhawks are still 3rd in the U.S. division despite a disappointing road trip, but it's 4-1 Calgary tonight.
Yeah, the 4th win in a row, and really kind of won it going away. They outshoot the Portland Winterhawks 33-19, but really it was the 3rd period that they kind of pulled away, and Portland might have been a little bit tired, but when Calgary gets all 4 lines going, those defensemen joining the rush, they make it very difficult. Power play goal. They got a kind of a lucky bounce off the end boards, which was one of the goals, but you know what? In the end, they were the better team.
We'll be back on Shaw.
Elegant grace wrapped around a pleasing muscular growl. The all-new ML500, rebuilt from the inside out. Hyatt Mercedes-Benz, 9th Avenue and 14th Street, downtown. Purveyors of fine automobiles. Sable Homes, uncommonly stylish.
Are you looking to get in shape? FitStart has the program to make it happen. Learn how your body gains or loses fat and the psychology behind it. Learn how to read food labels to complete your plan for long-term health. The key elements of a successful, healthy lifestyle are right here. FitStart. Call 272-UFIT.
It's about celebrating life. And Carpool Wednesdays. The Nissan Quest with a 5-star crash rating. Calgary's best deals are at Fish Creek Nissan, 14750 McLeod Trail South. Shift space.
Now playing on Shaw pay-per-view. You're moving out to the island. Transported to the world's last paradise.
I think they're gonna kill you.
Going to the island.
There is no island!
Portland Winterhawks struck first tonight, Mike Moeller, but the Hitmen come back with 4 unanswered. They win 4-1.
Yeah, won the game going away. A power play goal and a little bit of a lucky break off the end boards, but with Justin Pogge in net making the saves that he had to, the Portland Winterhawks just weren't able to get enough chances and get the puck by him. But, you know, Calgary, that's why they win. They do a good job defensively. They do a good job in their own zone, and they just don't give up many goals.
Well, they've allowed the fewest goals of any team in the Western Hockey League. They are stingy defensively.
Well, they are, and one of the reasons they are is they really pay attention to detail and they commit to the defensive system. And then from the defensive system, then they get offensive breaks. So when you do that, you don't give up many goals, and you score enough to win games. And the Calgary Hitmen tonight with 4 was more than plenty.
3-goal win, 4-1 for the Calgary Hitmen, and one of the 3 stars, I believe the first star, is with Ryan Leslie.
That's right, guys. First star tonight, Freddie Pettersson. And Freddie, what was the difference? You guys were down 1-0. What was the turning point for you guys?
I think like we always do, we try to work hard. And I mean, if our team work very hard and do all the small things, it's hard to beat us.
That's right. I mean, 4-1 tonight. Why were you? Tell me about your goal. Take me through your goal.
It was 1-1 in the game, and it's a good feeling when you score the game-winning goal in a hockey game like this. So I just tried to wheel very fast, and they were chasing me, and I don't know. I just tried to get it to the net.
Well, nice job. You're 18th of the year. Thanks for doing this, and good luck the rest of the way.
You too.
Freddie Pedersen of the Calgary Hitmen, tonight's first star. Guys?
Well, he's been the first star on more than one occasion this year, Mike, in his first year in the WHL.
Very dynamic player, has real high-end speed, good hand skills and moving the puck. But what I like about him, he's not afraid to go to the traffic areas. And in this league and in any other league you're going to play in, if you don't get into the what we call the dirty zone to try to score goals, you're not going to score. But that goal tonight, where he cuts in and goes around the defenseman, goes right to the crease. You know, us scouts love that, and so do coaches if they're playing for your team.
He's drafted by the Edmonton Oilers. It's no secret. He's not a very big guy. In the new NHL, and you're a guy that's played in the NHL, does that help him, the fact that, you know, with this new look NHL and he's a little bit smaller?
I don't think there's any doubt. There's room for the small skilled player, and there always has been room for the small skilled player. It's just that there wasn't a whole bunch of room, and you think of guys like maybe a Dino Ciccarelli or even a Stevie Yzerman, not really big guys, but they really play well and play in a team concept. But I think now you're seeing a lot more of the smaller skilled players. But hey, make no doubt about it, you guys got to be strong, and you still got to, like I say, be able to go into the traffic areas, and Freddie Pedersen does that.
4-1 Hitmen tonight. Same old story for the Hitmen. 4 different goal scorers. They get it from all kinds of different guys. We're going to take a look at some highlights in this game tonight. Hitmen win by 3 in front of a real big crowd in the Saddle Dome, and the range of 12,000. And here we go.
Here's Freddie Pedersen. I just talked about it. Boy, just cut into that net. And, you know, a lot of guys think, well, that's not that hard. Yeah, you know what? When guys are 6'4" defense coming across the backside, it's pretty tough. Here's a good shot from the point, and we saw this one here. This is the one that kind of banked off the end boards, hit Butler, and then Sonny just pushes across the line a couple inches, and that was a big goal. Nice hit here, Dylan Yeo, but the problem was he hit the forearm up, and when he makes that hit, all of a sudden he goes down. So no score in the first period. It was, but Calgary really dominated, outshoot him 10-4.
Then in the second period, Jonathan Bubnik, his 15th power play goal, 24th in the season, got the Hawks on the board. They're up 1-0, 3:22 into the period. Then Riley Merkley, coming off an injury, played his first game last night, tied it at 1 late in the period. Yo and Alsner getting the assist, and the Hitmen went to the dressing room 1-1, and it looked like they were going to go to the dressing room down the goal, but they got one late to tie it, and in the third period, well, you saw it. The Hitmen got 3 unanswered. The prettiest goal of the period, certainly Frederick Pedersen. He's closing in on 20. Sonny closing in on 10 as a 16-year-old. Midway through the period, then an empty netter by Carson. And that was pretty much it for the Portland Winterhawks.
Yeah,
4-1 the final.
Yeah, Portland Winterhawks just not able to get any wins in the Central Division, and they're going to look forward to getting out of here, and we're going to look forward to another game.
No question about it. Hitmen by 3 tonight. It was a busy night in the Western Hockey League. Mike, great working with you in Calgary tonight, and we're going to go back to Vancouver, and here is Dan Elliott.
Thanks, guys. Great job tonight. Now we need to take one final break, but we will be right back with a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as well to take a look at the next game coming up on Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Outperform, designed to engage, designed to illuminate. The Infinity 335 horsepower M45, only at Hyatt Infinity in the Calgary Auto Mall.
Revitalize yourself. Perfection specializes in laser hair, vein, and spot removal, laser facial and IPL solutions, microdermabrasion, and facial peels. For complexion perfection, call the professional staff in Marda Loop.
A car designed to suit your taste and style. The Hyundai Accent GSI. State-of-the-art engineering, unsurpassed safety, and easy maintenance. Calgary Hyundai. Drive your way. Corner of 16th Avenue and Barlow Trail, Northeast.
Streetside Development Corporation invites you to experience condominiums that defy the ordinary. Red House Condo and Latitude Townhomes are now available in Royal Oak. Visit our website for more information. StreetsideHomes.com. Decidedly different.
Remember last year at this time?
We now return to the Westminster Dog Show. Next up is the Schnauzers.
Don't miss a minute of the Calgary Flames action with Shaw Pay-Per-View. Order any game right through your Shaw digital remote control. Just press menu and select Pay-Per-View. So fast, so convenient. Next game on February 6th versus the San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames on Shaw Pay-Per-View. For details, call or visit shaw.ca.
When you look in the mirror, do you see sagging skin and jowls? You may be a candidate for a breakthrough procedure that erases up to 10 years in one day. The Natural Lift is available exclusively at the Institute of Facial Surgery. The new you is just a phone call away at 286-5000.
Hyatt Saturn Saab in the Calgary Auto Mall.
Welcome back to Boston Pizza's WHL Hockey on Shaw. We'll check on the out-of-town scoreboard. It was Moose Jaw rallying from a 2-0 deficit to beat the Saskatoon Blades 3-2, now tied for top spot in the Eastern Division. It was the Regina Pats over the Kamloops Blazers 4-1. Regina now trailing both Saskatoon and Moose Jaw by 3 points in third place in that division as well. It was Medicine Hat leading Swift Current 2-1 in the third. Chris Russell, Derek Dorsett have scored for the Hat. And as Red Deer up 2-0 on Brandon in the third period, the Rebels going for their third straight win. As well, the Kelowna Rockets hammering the BC Division leading Kootenay Ice 6-0. The Rockets getting 3 power play goals. Blake Como with 3 assists. And in Tri-Cities, it's a 1-1 game. Adam Hobson scored for Spokane. Ian McDonald has responded for Tri-City that game in the second period. And in our game, it was the Portland Winterhawks losing their 6th straight on the road, 4-1 to Calgary. John Bubnick scored for the Winterhawks. Riley Merkley, Freddie Pedersen, Brett Sawney, and Carson McMillan responded for the Hitmen. Justin Pogge getting his 14th straight win of the season, as well as his 30th of the year. All right, now our next broadcast on Shaw here will be Wednesday, February 15th, when Brent Sutter and the Red Deer Rebels visit